America. Tonight's live broadcast.
This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everyone. Here we are, Studio C, live as never before, because, well, Marnie's not here. That's normal.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
But this entire show tonight, I feel, is going to be supported by cough drops.
Oh, well, there you go.
Al and I, at least, are 50% of the show is going to be hopped up on whatever cough drop we can get. Kat, are you back to 100%?
No, I feel like I'm pretty close to 100%.
Wow. Good for you.
Well, I was Axl Rose knocking on heaven's door for 5 days. So
Were you doing that swaying thing when he, how he sings?
I was. It was me on a couch in a million blankets, just knocking on heaven's door. Hi. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Wow. I would have loved to have seen that.
Baby, don't fear the reaper.
What was really happening was I refused to move, even as my parents were in town for a visit.
No?
Yeah, I texted my mom. I said, "I'm dying. You can come over and watch me."
I'm near death.
That seems fair.
Work out for you.
Meowka really is here the same. It's not a
Meowka, hello. Aaron from LA is there also. Drew, hey ya. I like it. Hey ya. That's what he typed in there. Oh, heaven's sakes. I don't know. I thought I was going to have a wonderful lead-in, start the whole show with it, but I don't. It didn't work out as well to have that.
Where did it go?
I don't know. I had
What happened?
multiple thoughts laying in bed last night. I'm like, well, I could start the show with this, and this would be funny, and that would be funny. And then I don't know where it all went.
Oh, if only my secretary existed, and two,
Two things.
was better at her job. Yeah.
yeah, if only she existed and was around at all times to write down all the wonderful ideas that I have, I would be actually famous, not tens of people famous across the world. I would be actually famous.
And I've got that, that handy gadget called the phone next to my
got
bed.
one of those.
I can record a million different voice memos if I would just roll over and do it.
I can voice memo. I can put it in my OneNote. I can post it on my Pinterest wall.
But do you do it? No, we don't do it. Hi, Marnie Ryer.
No,
We
because
don't
you know
do
what
it.
happens every time I pick up my phone?
What? You get distracted?
It's instinctive. No, for some reason, I've even hidden it from the front page of my phone, but somehow I pick up my phone to do productive things, and all of a sudden I'm on Facebook.
Oh, got it.
It's the damnedest thing.
It's magic.
I thought you were going to say watching cat videos. No pun intended.
That's the very next step.
That's
what
the next
happens.
step.
Then all of a sudden, 30 minutes later, I've gone scroll all the way through my Facebook newsfeed and watched 28 cat videos on the way.
There's that.
It's an exciting life.
Well, if you're under a million blankets on a couch, it's okay. But
Yeah, rot with meaning. Oh, you're not meant to get anything done when you feel like that.
Oh, no, that was terrible. Even Sharon was like kind of worried. She's like, I have probably never seen you this sick.
Oh,
I know.
gotcha.
I know.
Are you? We were just talking about our ratings. Are you at 100%?
I'm at 110.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, look at her go.
50% of the show
She started
is
drinking
good.
Last Tuesday. No,
That's how that extra 10% comes
that's
in.
exactly right.
Good for you. Martin's back in business. We're all here. Well, we're all here. That's a start. We're all here. Amina also. Hello, Amina, Marnie's girl. Oh, I don't know if Joe
Hi,
D
guys.
is back from Payway.
Hi,
For some
girls.
reason, he
Hi,
needed to
guys.
tell us.
Fat
His,
Tuesday.
Aaron.
what?
Right, last week was
Joe.
Fat Tuesday.
Yes, and
Did
we just didn't do anything for it.
Nope.
This was just medium-sized Tuesday.
We fell way short on that one.
We did. We had a good show, but we didn't do anything special. We
A
just
holiday I normally do nothing about. I did even less for. I reached a new low in participation.
For which
Well
one?
played, sir.
huh, Marnie? What?
Say it. Patient.
For what? For what holiday?
For Fat
For
Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday last week.
Oh, I just dressed up.
Wow.
And we didn't even catch on to that for a while.
I know, for real. Like, hello.
You know what? That shirt that you have, that is the most hated phrase in my entire. I absolutely hate that phrase.
you?
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with that shirt. Somebody else in my life uses it all the time, and I
Yeah?
fucking hate that phrase.
I think you should
Feeling
punch
me
them in the
I'll
throat.
be right back.
No,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with you. I just
Yeah.
don't. He uses it all the time, and it drives me insane.
From the Sandlot, right?
From the Sandlot, which I just love.
It's very funny. I went through a phase.
Oh, I
of
didn't even
having
know
to
what
say
movie
it.
it was from.
It's from the Sandlot, and it's just the
It's
cute,
very
yeah.
funny.
So,
Is
and I also brought Werther's.
Werther's.
Oh.
We were talking
That's
about
going to
this
help
earlier.
your cough, by the way.
They got.
So is all these.
Oh,
I went.
That was a bad throw on my part.
Remember, it was either last week or 2 weeks
have
ago we
more.
talked about
Sorry,
the
Kat.
cough drops that had the mentholatum act,
Yeah,
all this
yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
you talked about an uncle whose dog died because of a
No, my grandparents, Doug Bunny.
or whatever the nasal cavity that was probably caused by the.
Yeah.
Well, I went to look and I still don't think I found. I don't think they make them anymore.
No, they don't make them as strong. It is Hall's mentholiptum, but
Yeah, but it's not the toxic waste that was in them before.
right, exactly.
I really miss it.
Oh, before you could be in a circus, you light a match in front of your face and you're breathing fire all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Very
those were
mentally.
good.
yeah.
Like in Sinex isn't the same
Like, you
either.
know
All
what was
these
happening.
products that were good.
Sinex? I don't think I've ever heard
I
that.
still have an old bottle. Still works. Because it's not as
1979
because it's not as
expired.
good as the. I don't give a shit. It works. It's not as good as the new shit.
Right.
Oh my
mine-
god.
I don't know. I don't even remember what I would have that my mom would break out the orange flavored Triaminic. Nor do I really know what that was, but nectar of the gods.
Did it go good with vodka?
No.
It was orange flavored.
I think my mom just gave me sugar water because she probably figured I was fucking lying anyway.
Oh.
So she was like, whatever.
Got it.
And then if I still didn't feel well,
Then
like
she'd
a day
like,
later,
well,
she was
maybe
like,
we got something.
maybe she's not lying.
Yeah. But you
Like,
could always
fuck.
tell with me because my voice would go in a hot minute.
Would it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I always had a sore throat.
Out of
Oh,
all
the neighbors
things,
were
out of all
sad.
things connected to Al Perkins, the voice would go first.
Miss you like
yeah.
Let me tell. Speaking of that, let me just tell you the joy that Kat
it's
Carlson
startling.
has brought to millions of people by isolating and posting that segment
That
of that
segment?
show. I watched it twice this week, and it just fucking cracks me up every goddamn time.
Well, and I laughed and laughed last night watching the Grammys because all I could think was, between Natalie Cole and there was one other thing. Damn it, what was it? There was one other thing that came. Oh, Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was laughing so hard.
all
I'm
night
like-
long,
and I was like,
parenthetically.
All
night.
night. Yeah. Song of the year one year. Still their low point.
Oh God.
I was doing the same
It was
thing watching the Grammys. I
fantastic.
was dying. I was like,
Song of the year for the Grammys
It
or
was
American Music
fantastic.
Awards? Two different animals.
No, the Grammys.
Oh, okay. Because the American Music Awards always used to crack me up because to me that was just them stroking themselves off.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, and it's based on the top 3 records out of Billboard magazine. That's how
Oh.
they get the nominees. Like, there's no great mystery as to who's going to win that award. It's whoever was when the year-end Billboard magazine comes out with the number 1 in each category. That's who's going to win.
Oh, okay.
Poor Amina. She's high on flu meds and sugar and
hi, Mom.
and just heard us scream.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
welcome.
all right.
Hi, Mama Di.
It's all right. Figure out your medications, adjust accordingly. Probably by the end of hour 3, you'll have it.
Yeah,
I don't think you need flu meds. You just need earplugs.
Could
and
be.
I have to say, I did dabble in the occasional glass of wine at home, and I don't drink. I very rarely, if ever, drink anything at home by myself, and I dipped into the wine a couple times to be like, yeah, that's gonna go nice with the codeine,
oh yeah, no, it's
That'll work out well.
the day before.
just to make sure I
Yeah.
slept.
The day before the onset of plague, which is what I'm calling it.
You had the
Plague
Zika virus.
2016.
I knew it was coming, and so I went to the store and I was like, okay, I need strong tea, I need honey whiskey. Like I stocked up, and the guy
Honey
behind,
whiskey.
yeah, the guy behind me in line is like, somebody's having a great time. I'm like, somebody's getting fucking sick. Back off!
Yeah,
Is this
and I'm
where
gonna
the
cure it with honey whiskey.
is this
Right.
where the hot toddies post came from that you did?
Well, sure, yeah, that's where. So I gave up on the hot toddies about
Oh.
day 3. I was like, I'm dying.
I'm
Whiskey's
dying.
not gonna help.
Yeah.
Nothing's helping.
Yeah.
All right.
Death.
Heavens.
It's fantastic.
Holy crap. Well, there's been a lot happened since we were all last together.
They're taking
what?
attendance. Oh,
I know. I saw Amina's
Yeah, like-
taking attendance in the chat room.
I mean,
Well
you
done.
understand that attendance is optional here.
It's
No,
required.
we try to keep track. I mean,
Well, sure.
so I get it. We have Aaron.
That's
Yep,
usually
okay.
my job.
Put it in the
think that looks
database. What
good.
else is going on in the world that I've
think it
missed?
looks-
Well, there's just all. I mean,
Did
since we
anybody
were all
die?
last together. Well,
I honestly
Yeah.
think this is the biggest political story of my lifetime.
Ever. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
When that happened, and for those of you who are,
I mean, I was alive for Watergate, so that probably would supersede this, but this
Sure.
is pretty close.
Yeah.
the for those of you around the world who may not actually give a shit about the United States political world, one of our Supreme Court justices died unexpectedly on Saturday
No,
afternoon.
the Grand Poobah. of the
Well,
Supreme
right,
Court
but I'm just saying
justices, Yeah.
that if they're not flying, they're not going to use the Grand Poobah. But anyway, he's been there 30 years. Reagan appointed him. He's been fighting social change for 30 solid years.
That
Just
was-
an
yeah, that
evil,
was his
awful
disease.
bigot of a
Yeah.
human.
So he died, and
But we have to say a great jurist, because that's what Rachel Maddow says we have to say.
And
And-
BFFs with
With
the
the-
notorious
with
RGB.
RGB.
Like, there's got to be something
But
there.
has
he,
to be.
he died unexpectedly, which throws everything into a tizzy, even though the whole political world is already completely fucked up. And then, to add insult to injury, all the Republicans decided that Barack Obama could not appoint anybody, which there's no precedent for because every other president who ever has had this happen, even Reagan. Hello, in the last year of his presidency, appointed a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
It's just been hilarious to watch everybody freak out.
And it was hilarious to watch, you could easily tell in your Facebook stream, like you could tell who was liberal and who was more conservative. At the same time, though, the minute, because I just kind of stayed away from the saying anything,
too shitty about him,
because, I mean, he's a guy who died. Like, that's, so whatever.
Sure.
Was not necessarily kind, maybe. I mean, I'm a big
fan of you were an asshole yesterday, you're still an asshole
today. You're still
an
asshole. No, and I agree with that. But the minute, and I'm not going to lie, the minute that I saw that thing about Ruth Bader and Ruth Bader Ginsburg and what she had written, but then I kind of went,
But would he have been his classy about her? I don't think so.
I don't know. But I saw them. Did you see the thing like with them going back and forth on CNN? They showed some clips of them.
Oh, and
they really looked like they got along. And
they were both opera fans or something like that.
Yep. And,
Vacation together.
And not that it.
And spent New Year's Eve together.
Oh.
Not that it changed my opinion of him being an ass.
Right.
Or, God rest him kind of thing. But I thought like you said, if she can find this good and she can see, that's the notorious RBG. Like, right. I kind of went,
I mean, we all have to.
There has to be
we all know people who might be nice. They may be kind of okay to hang around with. They might be fun. But just that they are polar opposites with regards to what their belief system is.
But he came across as just
and he's a pig.
Yeah.
That thing about
no. Yeah. I get that. But I'm just saying, I can see that there was some commonality. I mean, like, I'm sure there were things that, like you said, opera they liked. Maybe their senses of humor were very similar. I don't know. I just think it just was interesting that
all people.
RBG comes out. Oh, my friend died.
Like all the way to the left.
But you like coworkers a little bit more than you're supposed to most of the time. Like,
that's true.
As long as they don't run over your toe or something or kill your cat.
The other thing,
but I mean, just so we don't keep this shit up. We gotta Natalie Cole this bitch to a wall. This is the guy that said
we're not gonna miss him like crazy.
Oh no. But this guy's the one that said that.
I mean, his cat is gonna die. We have to stop doing that.
Stop. The only reason there were voting rights enacted and civil rights enacted to ensure voting rights was this entitlement will not be taken back because of social pressure. Like he was just did not believe in the whole ride. The Freedom Riders, anything with the March on Selma, any of that stuff, he just didn't buy into it.
He opposed. Okay.
And just a dick. And he with affirmative action, he said that maybe black people shouldn't go to the better schools. They should go to lesser schools on a slower pace. Like, I mean, he's a fucking pig.
He really
compared gays to murderers, in official opinions.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'll get a little bit up on saying the notorious RBG is okay, but this guy's
I'm going to hang a picture of him in my
yeah.
fucking house or something.
Yeah.
I just was. I think I was more stunned than anything.
Oh, I was trying to call sick to work. When I woke up and got that text, I was like, oh, no, I have to sit in front of the TV and just watch this shit go down. And it was like tick-tock, waiting for Mitch McConnell to make an asshole out of himself.
Right, and he did. So we're done with that.
I mean, they hadn't even declared Scalia dead yet, and he was already like, I will absolutely not fuck around. I'm like, come on. Like, you guys have to, they're supposed to be the Christians with a little bit of class. Like, wait till the Sunday morning news shows.
Right. Wait till he's cold.
On Monday, when I was watching...
That came out on Saturday night. That did not make it to the Sunday morning Meet the Press shows.
Yeah.
On Maddow on Monday, one of the people she was interviewing said in regards to that comment that McConnell made, that though they made themselves look like idiots, the only saving grace he saw within the entire statement was the fact that if they said it first before he had nominated anybody, they weren't looked at as specifying any one person. They were just going to paint with a broad brush and knock everybody out. And he's like, that's the only reason I could see that would be good. Otherwise, they just look like idiots.
Yeah, and then you read the Constitution, and that night in the debates, Cruz just came right out with that. Like, in the last 80 years, this has absolutely never happened.
Making up facts. He just started digging in his pocket going, hey, 80 years sounds like a good long time.
Good number.
So the moderator said... Reagan appointed Kennedy in 1988 in the last year, and the audience booed the moderator for telling them a fact.
Fact checking, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind of tards are at this thing that you boo a legitimate
And was it 05 when Rehnquist died? Was it 05? Was that also?
Yes, it was 05.
But what-
Because he got two pretty quick. He got Roberts and Alito very quickly onto the Supreme Court. But remember to sneak in Alito. I think Alito was his, isn't it? Isn't it? Roberts. He made
Roberts
the surprise
did,
move
yeah.
of making him the Supreme Poobah, whatever the fuck it is. What's it
I
called?
don't
What's
know
the head
Supreme
one called?
Poobah.
What's the main one called?
Chief Justice.
He's the Chief Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, good
I'm
thing.
like,
But if you
Cat
don't,
Carlson, ladies and gentlemen.
in
I'm
case
back.
you don't
Welcome back.
remember, he snuck in his housemaid, Harriet Myers, as the nominee, just to throw everybody into a tizzy so that they could like pull her back and then nominate who they really wanted.
I remember that name.
Which I think
Yep.
might be how Roberts got in, because Roberts actually withdrew his name for a while. So I don't know if it's because 2 justices died. I can't remember what the thing was. But when he nominated Harriet Myers, who was like a family friend, I mean, seriously, I guess she is a lawyer, but like this was not somebody with any experience and just a crazy fucking nomination. It's one of those things that just kind of like got lost in history. But just Google some of the news reports about Harriet Myers and what he pulled with that 05 thing.
Oh,
That even Republicans were like, come on.
I didn't pay
Like,
attention.
put down
then.
the bong.
Shenanigans.
But it's been interesting to watch them all and see how it all is going to play out and play around. But what I have loved more than anything was the conspiracy theories.
Oh, Alex
Jesus.
Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well he was one of the big ones that started it all. But everybody and their brother, no autopsy, no this. He refused marshals for protection on this trip. He refused marshals all the time. Like it was
Who went in and killed him?
But the other one, they said, I didn't realize this. It took 6 hours for them to find a justice of the
I
peace.
think just to lift him.
No, because a justice of the peace, when nobody else was around, has to declare them dead.
Right.
It took them 6 hours to find one, and she did it over the phone
Without ever seeing him.
based on what the police that had found, they had all said, the officials had said. Well, that was another big, thing about conspiracy. Oh, she never even saw the body. How do we know he's really dead?
And the
How do-
He's an old fat guy. He had a heart
Right.
attack.
Yeah, with
79 years old.
diabetes,
Right.
like the list of things wrong with him was like,
Yeah.
Why
but
doesn't-
RBG's got pancreatic cancer. She's still
trucking along, man.
Uh-huh.
She's never going.
well,
she's gonna do a little jig on
She's
his
not
grave.
going to go until after Obama's gone.
holding out for, holding on.
up.
Holding
No,
on.
the smart thing to do would be to leave while Obama's in office so she can be replaced by
That's true.
a guaranteed.
Leave 2
But
vacancies.
the problem is she's really good at her job and she likes doing
And
it.
she
Like,
likes doing
Yeah,
it.
true.
she's
She's said before that she's not leaving.
I think it's good.
But it's been an interesting week
yeah,
with
that
regards to
that
all
really
that.
was like the most shocking story I could have.
I bet you're almost afraid to turn on your phone anymore because I always text you when people die, and then the first thing you see when you turn it on is the list of people who
Yeah.
died while you were asleep.
But that one, I seriously
Oh,
almost
sure.
shit my pants. I'm
Yeah.
like, and with all the crazy shit that's going on and everybody's aware, and then to lose the big guy, like he's
Right.
it. He is the voice. Clarence Thomas doesn't talk.
No.
You can
Right.
barely remember Alito's name. And then whoever the other two are, I always Breyer's a conservative.
I can't remember.
Breyer's a liberal.
Kennedy.
Kennedy swings.
Swings.
And then Kagan and
Yeah, but we're missing.
Sotomayor.
Sotomayor.
We're missing the bitch boy for Scalia. There's Alito,
Stand by.
Scalia,
Stand by. Kat Carlson is going live to the
Clarence
interwebs.
Thomas,
Dum, dum, dum,
John
dum,
Roberts.
dum,
Oh, it is
dum.
Alito. Alito is his bitch boy. That is fine.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
why I'm
fine.
like,
Wait,
wait a
I don't
minute,
want all the
that's-
justices. I want the current ones. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I got him.
There we go.
So it's Scalia, Alito, Breyer, Kennedy, Sotomayor, Ginsburg, Kagan, and did I say Roberts already?
No, Roberts.
I'm missing another white
Sonia
guy.
Breyer, Alito, Kagan, Thomas, Scalia, Roberts, Kennedy,
I missed Kennedy.
RBG.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, but to have it be him and to have like the champion of discrimination and anti-gay rights
The other thing that was interesting to watch.
die on the night of a debate.
Well,
Holy
because
shit!
it's fairly symbolic because that entire mindset is, believe it or not, dying off. It doesn't look like it when you turn on the news. It doesn't
Right.
look like
Right,
it
yeah.
But you're
when you
right.
talk to your Uncle Joe from back home. But that mindset is dying off.
Right.
It just is. You know what I
You're
mean?
100% right.
Get another couple of years of funerals in us, and hopefully we look like a much different country with a much
Oh,
different
we
mindset.
probably will.
And the other thing is show up and vote because your country looks a whole lot different if all
Seriously.
of you vote.
I've told you before, one of my favorite things with watching Rachel is that she'll start the show, like you don't know where she's going. She'll start the entire show. In 1978, blah, 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 and she takes you through this interesting storyline of everything to get you to something that's happening right now. And that's what she did in the show last night. She talked about the fact that it was the tiebreaker back when it was Bush Gore.
Yeah.
The whole thing with regards to Florida. And she was talking about like it was the current election and how this was all going to go and what would happen if this happened and this happened and this happened. And then she gets it right down to reminding everybody that, remember how that got broke? It was
Son of a bitch.
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello. And right
If that had gone the other way, we would all have solar panels on our heads.
Oh my God. Yeah. But it was just so interesting to watch her, and she pulled it all together and she's like, if it gets deadlocked, what now, people? What now? Like, it was just a very interesting way for her to re-educate people as to how all this works. But it was just very cool. But yeah, it's going to be a fun next 9 months.
And watching all the pundits today have to just backtrack on Mitch McConnell.
Oh my God!
Like all of them are being like, well, we have to see what he can do because they've all been bitch slapped on how many times it's happened.
Right, the fact checker got through to him
in the last 120 years. And the one guy was like, I can't even go back further than that. And then they go back and they're like, well, the last time it took, the longest that it took to approve somebody was because he was Jewish. He was the first Jewish
I remember
judge.
I remember saying that.
So like, your only precedent for taking a long time is discrimination. So now that we're just inside the baseball, let's just play it. So now, does he set someone up to ruin their career? Does he set up a Harriet Miers and nominate somebody that they have to go through the motions of? But you make it someone just horrible that gets the voting block behind them. So it looks like they're just beating up on, just pick a subtype there.
Right.
Pick 2 from column A and 3 from column B and, put, Mariah Carey or Tiger Woods, like all the colors of the rainbow and one person up there and watch them lose their fucking minds.
Right.
And then put the real person in like Bush did. Like, is that what he does?
How you play that game?
Or does he put up somebody for real that he really wants and just ruins their career because they stay in limbo for 11 months?
Forever.
And then they'll never be nominated again because they've been vetted and failed. Like, so it's a crazy way to like, it just turns into a big poker match.
What do we think about the Loretta Lynch possibility? She's already been vetted.
And she doesn't have to give up her job.
Right.
So they can let that play for the entire year and no one loses.
Mm-hmm.
But then, if the Democrats win back the Senate on January 2nd or 3rd, Obama's in office to the 20th. They got 3 weeks. And you can't do anything about that. So if they only have to win 4 seats, then you have a Democratic president who's still the president, nominate somebody, and they have 3 weeks for their legitimate Senate, the new Senate that just got sworn in.
That sounds a whole lot smarter to me.
It's a funny way to go, and it's that little glitch that they're not confident they're going to take the Senate back to Republicans.
Right.
So now I got to weigh it out, like, how do we lose this?
Yeah, but isn't it that there are 3 different names that that people have speculated on?
Right, the first Indian American. There's 2 women, and then there's and they're all from the district. I think they're all from the District of Columbia courts. But there's
one from
a female senator.
Our court from.
The Ninth Circuit, yeah. And then there's a woman that's in the Senate right now who they could put up, but then they would lose a Senate seat, so that doesn't seem smart.
But I mean, with those people, I mean, there I think 2 or 3 of them that are like,
they've already been.
It would be ridiculous.
They've already been approved.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous for anyone to go, or for the Republicans to go against them.
But they will.
Oh, I know, but I mean, come November,
because they've already approved them. They've already been vetted and approved for their job. Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
I forgot what the last thing was, but it's good. We'll think of it later. I'm sure I won't be able to get off this topic because it's just been like catnip for me for like 3 or 4 days.
That's so fun. You come alive. He's got the biggest crush on Maddow. This is fun for me to watch. I missed you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I could just figure out how she does her eye makeup, I'd be completely thrilled.
I remember it. So the new Senate with the old president is one way, or if at any point they go on recess and haven't approved somebody,
a recess appointment.
He can do a recess appointment that carries over till next year, and then he gets, who knows what'll happen, but he could get anything he wants. So he could appoint, like, seriously. You don't have to be a judge. Google it.
Right? No, you don't. I heard that.
So, and I think Michelle Obama is a lawyer, though.
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure of that one. So, Bernie Sanders, how about you drop out of the race and get on the Supreme Court for 9 months?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That'd be like Christmas.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh,
right.
my gosh.
Right.
So it doesn't hold over. That wouldn't hold over. The new president would overturn an appointment made during a recess. But if Hillary likes them and renominates them, it's crazy. It's just it's crazy political shit.
It's a lot of
Agreed.
bets on. I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me nervous because it's so kind of.
Oh, it does. But when you realize how many
Sure.
how many ways
Yeah.
that they can lose this poker game,
You're right.
that it really makes them like they just have to sit back and stop being like Obama's the Antichrist and be like, oh, we have to play this game just as smart as he does. Let's see who he puts up, and if we've already agreed to it, then we play by the rules.
Because otherwise, November is going to kick them in the ass.
Yeah.
Huge.
Michelle Obama, not only a lawyer, graduated Harvard Law School.
Right, because
Yeah.
she's like a year behind him or something. They went to the same.
Can you imagine if
Which is also something that they're making fun of. Not making fun of. People are pissed about. Too many Harvard graduates up there. I thought, no, shut up.
I know.
Oh, I
That's
hadn't heard
supposedly
that
a
one.
thing. Yeah. That's supposedly a
Too many
thing that-
educated people
My goodness,
Too many, but
people
Harvard.
educated
You need to
in
go
the-
outside of Harvard.
in the
apparently.
best law school in the
who can
country.
use reason and science and all these other things.
You know what I want? I want more ASU lawyers in the world. That's what I want.
The date rapists of the world united ASU.
Fine legal careers coming out of Tempe, Arizona.
like
Right.
it.
Known for its date rape statistics.
Well, maybe we just get Phillips and Lyon locally to go up. They could be there.
Well, they have an app.
Learner in a row.
Learner, what's the place to
no,
go?
they have the app actually. That's
They'd
right.
have
I
to
just saw
stop that needed, Interact needed check. They'd have to stop that angle. They'd have to use something else. I don't know. Feeling
like it.
oppressed. I don't know. They'd have to come up with something. I'm not sure. I don't know what they would do. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know.
You almost spit beer. I know.
Because all I could think of to rhyme with oppressed was put on a vest.
Oh.
Or put on a dress.
Oh.
Need a dress?
Well, feeling oppressed, we'll put on a dress. They put on their gown.
Put on a dress.
Right,
There you
right.
go.
We'll figure it out.
And I went to ASU just to clarify. Like I'm not like
But not to be
I'm
a
not like
lawyer. But not to be a lawyer.
No, but my date rape jokes like
Yeah, and not
when
to
when
be
they
a-
did
not
that
to
whole
be
thing
rich.
about they wouldn't have Obama's first year. He was supposed to be the commencement speaker,
Okay.
and they had some dumbass reason for not like allowing him.
No, he was the commencement speaker.
but
I
they
went
tried
to
to
that.
ban
Okay.
him.
I'm like, I saw him there.
There
Yeah.
was a whole big protest, and I'm like, really, the date rape capital of the world's gonna turn down
A
the
solid.
president of the United States as your
guys
your
are too
speaker?
good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
That's when that microaggression shit started. ASU has cleaned up the act, but yes, I mean, for a while, ASU was the #1 school for date rape.
Yeah.
And it just was a party. If you look up, you look online for party universities, I think yes, you're still in maybe in the top 10 still,
I'd
but
say ASU is up
it used to be
there.
way up
There's
there.
one in Louisiana. There's one in Florida.
In Ohio.
Oh,
yeah.
And
Good schools.
the what's it called? The quarterback for the Sun Devils
Well,
was a little
Jake.
rapey there for a year or two.
was he?
A
His
little
name was
rapey.
Jake.
It's a good thing I don't
Jake
watch
the
football.
snake.
Yeah.
Jake from ASU. What are you
Jake
wearing,
the snake.
Jake from ASU? Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm raping your daughter.
Oh my God.
We need a new segment. We need to move
Yeah,
on.
gotta move on.
We're
My
we're
goodness.
circling the drain here.
My
We're
goodness.
circling the drain.
No
For the
kidding.
half a nanosecond that we were highbrow, just right down the
Oh,
snake.
I don't know when that second was,
know,
but
yeah,
I'm
I
going to
know.
need to
It was
isolate
only
it later.
half a nanosecond,
about
less
that
than that.
eyebrow.
Yeah,
Blink of
look
an
at
eye.
that
I'll have to isolate it later, see if I can find it. Well, Marnie, are you going to be able to do headlines? And I think I have one that you may have, but we're going to learn when we do our talk over.
Well, I think that.
Let's all
that
learn
would be
together.
great.
It'll be exciting. We're going to come back with headlines right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
What's this? It's a 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Alrighty, kids. Let's see if we can get through this. It's headlines on this Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. Show 249. Oh, Uber's already got this one fixed.
I have never been so sleepy for 6 years.
I'll move to the next one. If you want Viagra, you'll need a note from your wife.
Taylor Swift says, "Fuck you, Kanye."
Yay.
Kinky Night ends with a real arrest.
Garden gnome porn.
Oh.
Kat Carlson, not the only one who uses a selfie stick.
The bearded lady and lobster boy.
And I'll come up with another story, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. These and more things right now. I'm not sure if the story that you have is the same story that I have, but it involves
It
involves 6 years, which is odd.
Yeah.
Is this about a
Probably.
vacation?
No, not a
Oh.
vacation.
Oh.
Not a vacation.
How about you tell each other
Well,
the story
in
and
a
see who
second,
wins?
you'll do
Okay.
it. It's all right. You'll tell. She'll do it here in a second.
Shouldn't
We'll
we
get
have
to it.
talked about this in the production meeting?
An Uber driver should be able to deny service to gay people, argued a West Virginia lawmaker on Friday, and he won. Record shows 65 state House members voted against requiring an anti-discrimination policy for Uber that would have banned discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Just 27 members of the House voted for the amendment. Support for allowing discrimination was led by Delegate Tom Fast, a Republican who argued sexual orientation is chosen. Quote, "I believe that it is a dangerous thing to elevate as a protected status, a characteristic that is a chosen characteristic," he said.
Like a religion or something like
Yeah,
that?
like a religion, like he would probably have chosen.
Yeah.
You probably already know this, everybody. The ride-sharing app that depends on anyone being able to virtually hail a cab from wherever you are. Anywhere you are, the cab works in the city you're in. Boom, they'll come to you, they'll pick you up. So catching a ride is really, it's never been easier. I love it. I use it all the time. The company has sometimes had trouble getting permission to operate in some areas, but the hurdles usually have nothing to do with discrimination. The bill has been sent to the state Senate without the anti-discrimination language for consideration. Now, this isn't the first time the state has wanted to permit Uber drivers to discriminate. The same thing happened in Oklahoma last year. And Uber, which I love, this is the big thing. Uber has reiterated time and time again that it already has in place its own anti-discrimination policy that is inclusive of sexual orientation and gender identity.
Because they want all of your money.
So does that mean that so the driver can't drive for Uber then?
The driver?
Like if the driver's refusing to take someone because they're gay,
They-
then Uber can take
Then
away
it
their
violates the terms of service that they've agreed to.
Right, and then
with
they would be
Uber.
terminated by Uber. So if they
Oh, there you go.
No, so Uber's already got this covered. Uber says lock, stock, and barrel. If you're not cool with this, we don't need you. Here's how we run.
like that.
Here's how we run. But I think it's funny that the people in these little fucking towns or these little areas that want to try to regulate this don't realize that the company's already got it taken care of. It's like somebody coming in and, like Procter & Gamble. They're an inclusive company. They already have anti-discrimination, everything set in it, yada, yada, yada. I just like that they're so stupid and don't do any research to figure out that we're going to regulate this company. Well, their company's already got it done.
Yeah. Like most of the airlines and stuff like that, like you can't discriminate because they don't discriminate. So even if they went into a state that had it, they don't do it in their company.
Stupid. I just thought it was an interesting thing that they're trying to circumvent something that's already done and already good. Like, you're
Yeah.
stupid.
So, I mean, Texas has been doing great things lately. First, they're suing the Planned Parenthood people. Then they're killing Scalia. I mean, Virginia could take a note.
I also liked
Well played, Texas.
I also like the Scalia thing. How many times did I hear he was at a high-end resort?
Oh, yeah.
Every fucking one of those. He was at a high-end resort in West Texas.
So, male prostitution or you're going to kill some endangered species. What the fuck are you doing in West Texas where you can't even find a doctor at a high-end resort? You're getting a hand job from your buddy from high school. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, is the Bunny Ranch also in Texas?
No, it's only in Nevada.
Only in Nevada.
Jackalope.
But the funniest thing I read about that, like I said, I'm just going to keep going back to this because it's my favorite story ever.
Please do.
Since the astronaut lady drove cross country in diapers.
Jesus.
That
was a guy.
because his friends didn't like him, because he was like Ted Cruz, like no one really, except for RBG, he had no friends. No one went to check on him. Like he didn't show up, and it took them hours to go find him
Maybe he's not okay.
because they didn't miss him.
God, the breakfast has been
And
really
then
nice
they
this
didn't make
morning.
it to breakfast. Let him sleep.
It was a nice, calm breakfast this morning. I
Brunch
had
was
one
pleasant,
here.
right?
Isn't that funny?
Okay, Marnie.
Well, there was a gentleman who wanted anonymity, I would assume,
Okay.
based on the fact that after 20 years of service, his job wanted to give him an award. And so as they looked for him, high and low, they found, why, he has not been here for at least 6 years, if not 14. They're not sure.
But they wanted to give him an award.
Was it a perfect attendance award?
It actually was.
He's the quietest one in the bunch. He had made, the most of his time. Apparently, he had become an avid reader of philosophy and an expert on the works of someone, which makes me an idiot, but works of Spinoza, who is a Dutch philosopher credited with laying the foundation of the Enlightenment.
Oh.
All of this.
Oh, you can store that away for trivia later.
Just a little bit. It was only when he was due to collect this award, though, that they realized he just had not been there. Garcia, 69 years old, had been working for the local authority in the southwestern city of Cadiz. And then he went from the city to this waste treatment plant. In 2010, when Garcia, who is now retired because he wasn't for all those years, was due to collect his long service medal, the man who had hired him, who was the deputy mayor, wondered where he was. Well, he's still on the payroll. Well, I thought, where is this man? Is he still there? Is he retired? Has he died? After the former manager of this water board,
Water board.
it's called the water board. That cracked me up. Who had the office opposite of Garcia.
Oh, it's even worse.
How do you not?
Like finding out your neighbor got ate by the cat.
He told him that he hadn't seen Garcia for several years. He called him finally, the deputy mayor did, and said, well, what did you do yesterday? I asked, what are you doing? What did you do yesterday? In the previous month? He could not answer. So a court fined this Garcia, the equivalent after tax of 1 year of his annual salary. He said that for at least 6 years, he had done absolutely no work. He told the court that he had turned up to the office, although he had admitted that he didn't really keep regular business hours. He said he was the victim of workplace bullying because of his family's socialist politics and had been deliberately sidelined. So his reasoning for not going was because of harassment. And he couldn't report it because he had a family to support. And he worried that he would not find another job at his age. So he just stopped going and kept getting paid.
That sounds amazing to me.
I say, so who's at fault here?
Right. Who's doing your payroll?
I say good on him.
No.
I say good on him. You have someone who is kitty corner from you, and they don't realize you haven't been there anywhere from 6 to 14 years, and you're going to get a medal for 20 years of
If I don't see somebody for maybe a day or two, I'm questioning. Like,
are you okay?
Where's Bob? Why is Bob not here? You ever hear about Bob?
Right. So I just thought, if you get called into the office after not showing up for 6 years, I don't know. I think you'd try to come up with some kind of an excuse. I was abducted by aliens.
I was on that special project you guys put me on.
He didn't even have a mop and sitting at his desk, like wearing sunglasses or something, like to just fake that it was him. Nothing. Turns out he was skipping for that reason, though, of just being bullied because of socialist politics.
I like the part of the story that I read. It says he was supposed to be supervising the construction of a water treatment plant, but the water company thought the city council was in charge of him, while the city council thought the water company was in charge of him. So nobody's paying attention.
Oh my God! So he was the perfect storm of bureaucratic red tape.
Exactly.
That is my dream.
I agree.
Come true.
Wow. I agree. I just, and the whole thing after the 6 years.
Nice government benefits.
14 years. Right.
Or nobody knows who's supposed to be your boss. Nobody notices when you don't show up because you don't actually have any power or authority or responsibility.
Yeah. And yet, you're reading about enlightenment.
And yet you're being paid and getting benefits.
And
my dream come true. No, seriously, if anybody knows of that job,
I'd call you. Yeah.
I feel 100%
I think if
qualified.
you go to Cadiz,
I don't feel that you are high enough on the level of political bullshitters to get that job, because I know that those jobs are out there.
You just wait. Yep. There's a write-in campaign coming this year.
Mine inspector, still open.
Well, I got to find out who's ridiculous and running unopposed because I'm seriously going to mount a writing campaign.
Just so you know, Kat, on this, his final fine was the equivalent of just the 1 year salary. So you take all of this time off, and really it's just
6 to 14 years.
Yeah, whatever. Right. But ultimately, this case has probably caused a surge of applications at the water treatment facilities through Spain from others hoping to take a 6-year siesta nap from their job. I just think it's brilliant, and I say good on him. And I don't know, should have even been fined.
I feel like there's going to be.
I think it's their own fault.
At some point, there should have been pictures posted. You know how that like they'll find this forgotten apartment in New York that's been there since 1942, untouched. Everything's the same. Like they should show his office with technology from 6 to 14 years ago. With maybe no computer.
Seriously.
Well, I'm assuming, all that stuff. A rotary phone. I don't know what the hell he's going to have in there, but I just thought.
I'll bet he's got the kind of secretary that I need.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're
blind, deaf, and dumb. Helen Keller. Wow. Helen Keller was the secretary. Is really what happened.
Are we still on the guy that's missing?
Yeah.
The best part about this is like the strongest argument for people that are against. Yeah, people that are against. Like the government and like all these things because there's so much bureaucracy that like two different people thought they were in charge.
That's right.
And here's the guy that is in charge. Like, well, if you don't know and you don't know, then I'm gonna peace out.
Right.
Yeah,
I gotta go. Play, man.
I got direct deposit and I'm out of here.
I'll see you in the next administration, people.
I don't have to sign a timesheet. Okay.
Yeah.
If you insist. So,
and if you got paid for 6 and only had to return 1, hey, you're ahead.
You're still ahead. Yeah.
And quite frankly, if you really were gone 14, fuck, come on.
Oh, I know.
14
and
years.
with a sensible savings plan, he should have had that in the bank.
Absolutely.
That's true.
A sensible savings plan. He had more time during the day to spend the money, though. So
that is true.
Yielding a good interest, he would have made out.
Philosophy books are not cheap.
What?
Philosophy books not
That's
cheap.
That's a good point.
No.
So, if you don't see anyone.
If you don't see something, say something.
If they haven't taken the letters off why would you not knock? Like, I haven't seen Charlie in a few years.
That's what I said. If Bob's not here, where's Bob? In 2-3 days, I'm like, where's Bob? Bob's not here.
Well, especially if they haven't come and like erased the stencils from his door,
I just think it's
or he's just one of those people that wasn't high enough on the.
He
food
never
chain.
shows up for the annual.
He never
dinner.
brings anything for the potluck.
Right.
He has had rolls
like
on the
damn
list for.
pig.
We have not had a roll for a sandwich in years.
Well, they have all the names.
I know.
They have all the names, and he never signs up for anything. That son of a bitch.
That's why we got to auto sign him up for rolls. That's what you assign the people that don't want to bring anything. They have to bring rolls.
Somebody had to have known.
Well, we might want to.
They're always the cups and plates people.
Oh. We might want to call this next story, "What's good for the goose is good for the gander," and we have certainly talked about stories like this before.
About geese and gander? I'm not sure where you're going with that sentence.
No, for the goose.
Same species.
Goose is good for the gander. A female Kentucky state legislator has introduced a bill that would require men who want to use erectile dysfunction drugs like Cialis, Viagra, and Levitra to get a note from their wives first. Then they'd have to make 2 visits to a doctor and promise only to take the pills before sex with said wife. No, with the wife. That's what the bill says. Kentucky Representative Mary Lou Marzian, who is a Democrat, introduced the bill on Thursday as a way to protect men's health and ensure that they are informed about the drug with potential dangerous side effects, according to the Louisville Courier. She says, quote, "I want to protect these men from themselves." Marzian, who is a retired nurse, she told the Huffington Post that her proposed law is it's just a tongue-in-cheek way of pointing out how anti-abortion activists want to involve the government in people's bedrooms. She said her legislation shows government doesn't need to be involved in personal choices, whether it be about abortion, erectile dysfunction, blood transfusion, or whether or not you're a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, I mean, as I listened to that, my mind was just rolling, like, kind of scary. Are they Republican? No, it's probably going somewhere funny.
She also pointed out...
Like, when you hear woman, you're like, yeah, I gotcha.
She also pointed out that 6 anti-choice bills have already been introduced since the beginning of the year. Just the beginning of this year. It's like 6 weeks. One of them, signed by new Republican Governor Matt Bevin, is an informed consent bill that requires women to visit with a health care provider before getting an abortion. Marzian told the station that the government should insert itself into the personal, private decisions of men, since we have already inserted it into our personal, private decisions of women. It's only fair. She says, quote, we are a
I think so.
We are a family values type of people in Kentucky in the General Assembly. They are all awash in Christian family values, so that's why I put that part in there, that these little pills can only be used in a marital relationship.
And it makes perfect sense that you're only going to fuck your wife. Not, there's no man in this story. It's no gay sex, there's no hookers.
Right, that's the whole thing. You've got to get a
You can
note
still
from
get
your
blow,
wife.
though. I'm not saying no hookers, no blow. I'm saying just no hookers.
What's so fun, though?
She conceded,
eventually you're going to marry your hooker, but that takes a while.
She conceded her bill is unlikely to pass. She said that she may try to get a hearing for it anyway.
I would.
Why not?
I'd rate some people.
I agree, for the God's sakes. They're all, like...
What state is this in?
It's Kentucky.
God bless her.
Because, like,
Land of
Kentucky's
bourbon.
busy.
everybody wants to get involved in all the women's bodies, but the men, don't mess with us. No, fuck you. Start paying the price,
it out.
kids.
Work it out.
Fair.
It's all the men's fault.
I love
anyway.
when the bourbon horse racing state all of a sudden pulls out a Bible and acts all holier than thou. Fuck you.
Right.
You got distilleries in every corner. I'm guessing. I don't know. Based on no knowledge.
Sounds like a place that I want to go. Let's
Parts
go
of it are a
there.
beautiful state. I've been there.
I have too. It actually, the grass was blue. Very wavy. Mm-hmm. Very wavy.
Humid as fuck.
So what was the thing about Scalia? He wants to be cremated, but first he has to be approved by like 500,000 women.
25,000 women are
Exactly.
going to get together and
The
decide
women
what's
that-
good for his
What's
body.
good for his body.
That's right. God, I thought that was fantastic.
That was a funny thing. I thought I saw that too.
That was great.
Amen to legislative trolling. Swear on that Bible with one hand while jerking off with the other.
Oh, Mina.
Oh, so good.
I enjoyed that in the chat room. That's
so
fun.
good. Well,
What?
10 totally bizarre genres of erotica that you had no idea existed.
Well, I
Thank
bet I
God.
did.
I have a feeling.
I bet she did.
Challenge
Challenge
accepted.
Quite frankly, that would not surprise me.
I know.
Dinosaur erotica?
No.
Really, people?
No,
There's a
can't do
widely
it.
accepted rule in the depths of the internet. If it exists, there's probably a porno of it.
Uh-huh.
It's known as Rule 34. So we shouldn't have been surprised when we went in search of the strangest erotica stories. But we still were. Yes, a story has been written for almost every conceivable subject you could think of, and ones you wish you didn't. Without judging anyone's sexual desires or preferences, we
I'll
gathered
be the judge.
some of the most out there types of erotica. You're welcome.
No, thank you.
Yes.
With Scalia dead, I feel I have to.
Number 1, presidential erotica.
Duh.
From Barack and Michelle Obama exploring their forbidden desires in an ancient Hawaiian spiritual world to George Washington and Thomas Jefferson making
Together?
out
Together? That's what
making out
All of
over
it,
the
yes.
corpse of a werewolf.
Duh.
Presidential erotic fiction goes beyond the idea of patriotism. Whether you see it
just slightly.
as a completely disgraceful or whether you see it as completely disgraceful or totally awesome, the thousands of saucy stories will have you looking at our founding fathers in a whole new
Now I'm
light.
worried about like Mount Rushmore and what's below
What's
the
below?
rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they do
hard.
with their hands? Yeah.
Still hard.
And why
As
is
a
one guy
rock,
turned
yeah.
slightly away from the rest? What's going on there?
He was
Dinosaur
new.
erotica, number 2.
I have to vote no on that one.
I have little arms
Jesus Christ.
with titles
Okay,
like
fucking Carney folk is legit.
titles like Taken by the T-Rex and Ravished
Taken
by the
by the
T-Rex? Available on beta.
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like.
and Ravished by the Triceratops.
All 3 horns?
Apparently.
Try. Oh.
Clearly.
Dinosaur erotica is all about women and men. See title, Pterodactyl Turned Me Gay, who attempt to kill the powerful beast but succumb to their own carnal desires instead. While the move into bestiality might be too much for some, dinosaur and other monster erotica has become increasingly popular
Other
in
monster.
the literary field.
Very general field. Other monster.
Other monster.
Rawr. All right. Garden gnome erotica. This was troubling to me. Not gonna lie.
The traveling gnome from all those Travelocity commercials?
Sadly,
That motherfucker had a nightlife.
Yeah, I was gonna
Let me
say,
tell you.
this
That one needs some
category
Lysol.
hasn't blown up as much as the previous two, because presidential and dinosaur erotica are top of the
Presidential's
charts.
a no-brainer. Duh.
The most popular read, Garden Gnome Sex Party, is about a woman named Jenny. Is Jenny in the chat? Is about a woman named Jenny who is surprised to discover that when the sun goes down, her garden
So
gnomes
does she.
come out to play.
She goes down on a dwarf.
And they know how to use those pointy red hats to please a woman.
Good God.
Oh, does she
Fucking read
squat
that.
on it like a traffic cone?
What? I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I hate to offer suggestions,
I know.
but
Right.
here's how I'd handle it. No.
Suddenly Missy Al is directing
I feel
the
like you
obscure
went to
porn.
that far too quickly. Airplane erotica would be number 4. Yep, more inanimate objects coming to life
shove that up your
just
ass.
to do it. In the what we hope is the only jet plane erotica out there, the sexy aircraft is also a billionaire and blackjack card counter. The Amazon description reads, "This erotic tale is 4,200 words of sizzling human on gay plane action, including anal, blowjobs, facials, rough sex, and billionaire plane love." What the fuck?
Yeah, I got nothing on that one.
I got nothing. But you can make everything just turns gay. My Little Pony erotica. Rainbow
Oh, that's
Dash.
a big thing. I saw a thing on
You
NCIS
did
about
not.
that.
That
No, I
one-
did.
that one-
And no. And there was
Oh my God.
Was it HBO's Real Sex that did a whole thing about pony play, or
Really?
There's another one. There's another like
I
sex.
don't
That
know.
one just sounds
Yeah.
like it comes in a white van with no
I know,
windows.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
No. There's hooves and bridles. It's a whole thing.
Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are getting into more than their typical adventures in these erotic stories. A popular category of fan fiction, My Little Pony erotica, reached a whole new level last year when an inflatable, life-sized, sexy Rainbow Dash was created. The toy caused one brony, a subculture of adult male fans of the show, to say, "This is why I'm slowly regretting becoming a brony." This
Brothers of
community,
ponies? I don't
guess,
know, yeah.
is just delving deeper and deeper into the disgusting. I just don't even know. Mummy erotica is another one. Dead come back to life from
You can
little
really
action.
get wrapped up in mummy
I think-
erotica. Ba-dum-ps.
I don't even know where my bell is. The Mummy's Gift.
You can ring my bell.
Thanks. Yeah. Teen Titans Go Erotica. I don't know Teen Titans.
It's a cartoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, another kid's show taken by the grips of erotica, because that's not fucking
Yeah,
creepy. Lightning.
Brought to you by the Catholic Church.
Well, here's what happens: is
Oh.
like social outcast nerds then
Yeah.
reach puberty,
Yeah.
and then
Are
it
all
becomes
into it?
porn. Right.
I'm still frightened.
At a certain age, guys
Number-
do start masturbating to
Right,
just
to
about anything.
everything.
Number 8 is Lightning Bolt Erotica. Now we're getting some weather erotica, folks. Taken by the lightning bolt. The focus is on a man who is, for reasons unexplained, humping a metal sculpture on a horse outside the Denver International Airport. Duh.
Yeah,
I was dry
like you do.
humping. This read on, it says, I was dry humping the solid metal back of the horse and holding up my iPhone so I could send a picture unsolicited to people on OkCupid when digress. That's all. Woolly mammoth erotica, of course.
This does
Number
not
9.
fall into other monster.
I would think it
Apparently
would.
not. Your best friend might set you up with a
Well, no, because the
prehistoric
woolly mammoth
animal.
was real. Monsters are
Prehistoric
very
creature,
questionable.
Good call. And last one, pixie erotica.
Huh?
Poor Tinkerbell.
I was thinking poor Winona Ryder.
With a simple Google search, you can easily find
Either
a
way.
multitude of adult pixie stories, everything from Peter Pan and Tink getting freaky to a full-on pixie orgy titled Pixies Tore Me a New One. Here's what I have for real. Number 1, Kat is right now looking that up. Am I wrong? Nope.
She found the
number
one
2?
she liked and she went with
And
it.
number 2, I am quite certain that I don't know who will admit to it. Aaron, please don't. Who in the chat room has just now Googled that?
Well,
Well, I'm going to look up the presidential porn stories lately because I can see me and Thomas
Clearly.
Jefferson having some stuff to
I
say.
looked up this.
And I just listened to all of Hamilton
Oh, there
yesterday,
we go.
so
I got this one for it, but I don't know if that's the same thing.
I think
but
it's different. Jenny would not. That's
I
not
don't
Jenny
know.
in the background.
Whenever I hear about two trolls butt fucking in the forest, it doesn't look that cute in my mind. So
No.
you've really improved the visual I
No,
had.
yeah, that's a good.
hi ho, it's off to work we go.
Those are dwarves, damn it.
Hey,
That was Snoopy. And
same
Snoopy.
carnival, same
Yeah.
carnival.
similar.
It's all just carny folk. I dated a guy who had the carny folk hands.
Once a carny,
Creep, always a carny.
Explain to the people at home and abroad what carny folk hands is.
Well, it's like it wasn't
They're
like
really,
something
really
that you had to
small
be
and
like
they
sad
smell
about.
like-
It wasn't like
but did he have like flippers
No,
or something?
no, no, no,
he
no.
could swim real well. I don't know what that
you
means.
know how some people just have like small features.
Okay.
He just had really, really, really small hands.
Have you ever seen that on Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
But it wasn't
Wait,
like
Marty. Yes, I know.
But it wasn't.
Kristen Wiig. I know what you're talking about.
It
Oh my
wasn't.
God, that's one of the funniest
Oh,
things
not
I've
the
ever
baby
seen.
hands thing.
The
That thing
baby
is
hands.
creepy.
Lawrence
That's
Welk.
creepy.
It really isn't something that's like some kind of horrible disease. It's just an affliction that I like to call carny folk hands. And it's when your date has way too small. No, you have normal size hands for a human.
They're really, really small and they smell like cabbage.
Yeah, no.
Maybe. Anyway,
Every
there
time, time I think I'm sick of Kristen Wiig, one of those skits comes
God.
back on and I love her again.
just go to Your Tango. I think it's yourtango.com or something. And
For all your links to.
yeah, yourtango.com.
alternate porn.
Then you can look up love, sex, family, heartbreak, self, buzz.
I've moved on. I'm stalking Anna Kendrick on Twitter.
Ooh,
Got
there
it,
you
girl.
go.
I know. I missed her, and she popped up on the Grammys last night. I was like,
I
oh,
know.
hi.
I know.
Did she
that was
sing?
awesome.
Oh, she was nominated.
She didn't sing that I saw. She just presented.
Yeah, because Pitch Perfect, they lost to. I think they lost to. No, they lost to something.
Hamilton. Yeah, that would have been what it was
Yeah.
up against.
It's like for another medium. I can't remember. But Pitch Perfect 2 was nominated. Hamilton did win for best cast recording. That's what. But Pitch Perfect wouldn't be a cast recording. It'd be like an original soundtrack.
Stand by.
Yeah.
Then I do not know.
Oh,
Mr. Mickey.
Unless they combine them into something else.
Unless you're still looking up garden gnome porn.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm looking up something. I was looking up something else for you. Kind of for you. Where the hell-
Kind of.
Kind of. Where the hell did it go? Oh, I hate when it doesn't. Stuff doesn't get
Somebody
sorted.
knocking?
No, Michael's home. He's making.
Oh, okay.
Who knows what he's making? Oh, I'll find it later. No big deal. We'll get it. We'll get it when we can later. An Arkansas couple's evening of kinky entertainment ended with one pair of handcuffs used for fun being replaced by another set of handcuffs being used for real. Dustin Taylor, who is 21 years old, summoned police this week to his home in Fort Smith, Arkansas, to remove a pair of handcuffs that he told officers that he and his wife had been using the previous night while, quote, doing some kinky things, unquote, the official report stated. The couple had lost the key to the pink handcuffs. I believe they were pink. There was a picture with the story. I assume that's what they were. The responding patrolman removed the handcuffs and then, of course, did a routine search of names in the database looking for people who might or might not be wanted when the computer reported an outstanding warrant for Taylor on, what was it? Criminal mischief.
Atta girl.
Yes.
Handcuffs went back on, but this time they belonged to the officer. Sergeant Daniel Grubb, spokesman for the Fort Smith Police, expressed a measure of sympathy for Taylor, saying, I sort of wish the guy had just invested in an extra pair of handcuff keys.
It's legit.
Oh, poor guy.
That's fantastic. That would have been good.
It's a long way to go to criminal mischief.
There's a very sweet boy. This was it's a different story than what I was going to do. I
I
didn't
told
like
you
that
I'm
other
not
story.
a boy.
So to go with the
Not yet a woman, not yet a girl.
the love theme from this past weekend.
Scalia's dead?
That could
Oh,
be yours.
love,
That
like
could be yours.
Valentine's.
Like
Oh, I got your cards today,
Valentine's,
thank
right?
you. Yes.
Oh, see, and I was thinking like
Yeah.
an actual theme, like a song. I'm like,
Yeah,
what's
like
the
Right.
love theme
No,
from A
no,
Star is
no.
Born.
love
Boat.
boat. That's all I got.
So there was a teenage boy who gave all the girls in his school no. I'm reading that wrong. Hold on.
Attaboy.
Let me go back on that. This teen gave all the girls in his school a flower for Valentine's Day. His name is Hayden Godfrey, 17-year-old senior at Skyview High School in Smithfield, Utah. And I just thought it was the sweetest story. Like for all the other bullshit that I
Could be
kept
creepy,
finding.
too.
No, but
Parenthetically,
it's
family
not,
has two
actually.
funny.
All right.
It actually isn't.
Sell me on the not creepy.
So back in middle school, he said he saw a lot of girls go home on Valentine's Day without stuff. So he wanted to make a difference.
All right, I'm back.
So for years, he would buy dozens of his friends flowers for the romantic holiday as a gesture of kindness. But this year, he truly went all out. He bought 900 carnations, which made me think of Patsy and Woody. Because do you remember when Woody died and Patsy was the carnations? Do you remember that? Where she was like,
do not.
Yeah, because Woody
Woody
hated
hated
carnations.
carnations.
Because they're dead people flowers.
doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. He
was dead.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
that makes it appropriate.
At his memorial, literally,
fairness,
people had
he was
sent
dead.
flowers, and she had said no carnations. So we're all standing up there throwing them out
That's
of the.
funny.
It was hysterical. Anyway, he bought 900 carnations and made sure every single girl at school went home with a flower. He worked at McDonald's, a Mexican restaurant, and a grocery store for more than a year to be able to afford the $450 it costs to purchase all the
Couldn't
flowers.
you have negotiated
Wait a
something with
minute.
somebody else
For
to get?
carnations?
Yeah.
He worked 3 jobs for a year to
Yeah.
make $500.
I know, right?
Well, he had other expenses. I think he was
Hashtag,
rat
you're doing it
holing.
wrong.
Well,
He doesn't have a cushy
And-
job where you can
right.
go away for 6 years and just get
Exactly.
paid like the other guy.
and if he has to return it, it won't be that big of a deal. Godfrey told the news that he enlisted 20 friends to help him prepare the flowers and hand them out to the 834 girls in the school on Thursday. So I'm thinking that 46 there's 66 flowers that he paid for that
So wait,
he didn't need.
how much? I'm sorry. Hang on. How much money did he
So
raise?
now he's also bad at math.
Apparently,
So wait. So how much
are
money?
cash.
500. 400. What was it? How much money?
$450.
So 450, and he bought 900 of them.
So
Apparently,
$2 each. Sell for X.
No, it's a nickel each,
Okay, well, that's not bad.
or 50 cents each, whatever it is.
I'm not good at math, so I don't fucking care.
$450. Okay, they are 50 cents each.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
like, I don't know.
2 for $1.
2 for $1.
Anyway, he said, I don't think
So we're also bad at math?
Yeah.
And I have a fucking iPhone helping me too.
I like that.
Jesus.
I didn't even try
Yeah.
to do the math. I was told there would be no.
There was none.
I don't think anything can compare to seeing every girl in your life holding a flower as they walk through the halls, he wrote. The vice principal told me that in all his years of teaching, he'd never seen anything like it. The teen said he'd been inundated with Facebook messages from people at school thanking him for the sweet gesture.
That is sweet.
And it says, if you're a teenage girl who is by now swooning at all the romance, we have some bad news. Hayden is taken. His girlfriend, Lillian Sharp,
Is also his cousin.
Yeah.
is very right. Said Hayden is very special, and that every girl walked out of school with a giant smile on his face, and he's just a little cutie.
So
Just a little cutie.
This whole thing was funded by Hallmark to
That's-
continue to justify.
that is not where I thought this story was going to end. I thought we were going to say that he was going to be found later on a horse in Denver.
Yeah. Waiting for a lightning bolt.
No. Then they went home and watched dino porn.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
That seems about right.
Listen,
Anyway, I just thought it was very sweet.
I'm still binging on Friends, and the very first thing you said when you said dino porn, I was like, oh, Ross.
Yeah.
I'm on season 8. I'm
Fair.
almost
So
done.
carnations are often used in funeral wreaths and standing sprays. As with other flowers, each of the colors has its own meaning.
Oh.
The red shows affection. The white tends to symbolize innocence. For Catholics and many other Christian funerals, pink carnations might be a good choice since it's believed they were created from the Virgin Mary's tears.
Oh, really?
That's a little gross.
That's a little much.
A lot.
Would you believe God's tears?
Well,
Would you
Yeah.
believe? Yeah. If the Virgin Mary's too much, how about God's
you
tears?
accept-
I will
God's
not.
tears.
I will not apologize for art.
He has red, white, and pink here, so he's covering everything.
For those of you that just watched Marnie pull her arms inside her shirt and not quite understand what she was doing, this is the character that Kristen Wiig did on SNL, Saturday Night Live.
This shit
that-
freaks me out. It's not
that-
Oh
okay.
my God,
She-
I think it's fucking hysterical.
It's not okay.
It
When
was
she smells her hands.
so much fun. It was just fucking funny.
wrong. It's just wrong.
Oh, it is. Before we do our crossover into hour 2, we got one final headline story. A sea lion uses a selfie stick of sorts to film his underwater surroundings in a beautiful video that has gone viral online. And here he is. This is the sea lion, his trainer giving him a selfie stick, I guess.
With a GoPro.
So Milo carries in his mouth a pole affixed with a GoPro camera as he dives into the water at the aquarium in the Pacific in Long Beach, California. So there he is above water, and then this one shows him underwater with his little camera. Viewers see him swimming down through the water and back up to the surface twice in a 14-second clip posted on YouTube, which you're watching us on right now. Was posted apparently last Thursday.
cute.
Aquarium volunteer Hugh Riono said he made the stick, which is basically a GoPro camera mounted at the end of an old target pole used for training animals. He made it just for fun. In a blog post, he said that he thought it'd be neat to see a swimming sea lion from the same selfie stick perspective that surfers and other action sports athletes use. The float actually neutralized the weight of the camera and mount, which makes it easy for the sea lion to hold it while swimming underwater. So you see on the first picture, I'll go back to that. No,
That's
it's not.
just cute as
It's
a
not
button.
in that picture. There's another one on the other end of the. Maybe you can't. Hang on a minute.
It
Can
was
you-
the first picture.
Was it the first picture? Stand by. Let's go back to the first picture. Where is it? It's there. Bingo. Yeah, the float on the very end of it behind the camera makes it light so the camera doesn't weigh him down. And he just goes. So when I saw this cat, Carlson, I thought of you not because of the resemblance to the sea lion.
That's just coincidence.
But because
that's just a happy accident.
But as we go back to our live shot, we see you have your selfie stick here in the studio.
I love when we go all Latin.
Studio. There she is taking her picture. Right, got Kat Carlson. She'll post that on Instagram or something. I'm sure. Insta webs, whatever the hell.
I love the little countdown thing. Is that new?
No, that's just because this is a dumb stick. It's not a Bluetooth one there's no button, so I have to do like a timer.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's a dumb stick.
It's a dumb
stick. It's a dumb one.
It happens.
There you go.
I like it.
It happens. Well, while Kat continues to play with her own selfie stick, we're going to do a little tiny crossover. We're going to come back to Drinking Words coming up just seconds from now, and then we're going to go into Al Perkins' Entertainment, and I'm sure he's just loaded with that. We've got Grammys and dead people, and I'm sure some TV show started.
Yeah.
There's so many things. Stick with us, won't you? Drinking Word, like I said, coming up, and then 2 more hours. If there's something specific you'd like us to chat about, let us know in the chat room. Also, coming up in hour 3, crime scene footage.
Yes!
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Hi again, everybody. It is Tuesday night. This is The Show. We're live in Studio C, coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for being with us, as you do each and every week. Some of you don't. I can see right now, looking in the chat room, Amina, Drew, Marnie's girl, Joe D, Mama Di in the chat room right now. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Oh, let's see over here. I don't know who else is listening or watching, but if you are, do say hi in the chat room for us. Thank you.
Aaron, we're in there.
Aaron? Aaron from LA. I saw him earlier. Yes. It's easier to keep up with all these people.
He hadn't showered or bathed or something for days, he said. I don't remember.
Not feeling well.
We cannot help that. Terribly sorry, but we're glad it's a distant relationship at this point. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're beginning hour 2, and when we do, it begins something like this.
And now, a drink-along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom, and that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
So our drinking word comes from Amina. She taught us how to swear in Swahili.
Kiswahili.
Kiswahili.
If I'm saying that correctly.
And it's kuma.
Kuma?
Kuma means cunt.
Oh!
Yep.
Yes.
Yay!
Spell. Can I get a spell?
K-U-M-A.
K-U-M-A. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's funny
Kuma.
because actually that's call letters for a TV station. You're watching KUMA TV.
You're watching Cunt
Cunt
TV.
Cunt TV.
Ooh, maybe we should have called our channel
Let
that.
us know if we said that right, Amina. Kuma.
Kuma. Oh,
think Kuma.
accent on the A. Oh, Kuma.
Kuma. I think that's how it
Think
is.
that's right?
I got that through reading, so I'm hoping that I got that right.
Well, you never
I know.
know.
She sent me that funny link where she taught me all those swear words. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a good little teacher.
Made me laugh. Mm-hmm. Because you really haven't shared your culture until you know how to. I think
How
I
to
know how to
swear,
say.
right.
I think I know how to say. Marca Peribosco. I know how to say the end of it. I gotta remember it. It means jumping Jesus Christ on the cross in Polish.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Wow.
I like that.
Okay, don't know. We'll figure it out.
I learned it from a friend's grandmother when I was young.
You learned a lot when you were young from other people's family members. I keep hearing stories like that.
That's why you always talk to old people, yeah.
Yeah, they know all that shit. All right, kids, again, hour 2 is where we are. We're going to kick it off with Al Perkins and entertainment.
Oh, God. Entertainment!
You're clearly very prepared.
Well, I thought there was a dark show. Well, Natalie Cole, I guess people are mad she's dead or something. The BAFTA Awards were this weekend. The Grammy Awards happened. The Walking Dead is back. John Oliver's back with stuff about voting ID. The Deadpool has now opened the door to R-rated comic book movies.
Okay.
And now all your comic book movies are going to be filthy and full of swear words. Fuck the children, they say.
Oh! Goodbye! We believe the children are the future.
As long as you want them to know swear words.
Right.
So, Deadpool opened this weekend to huge, like almost 2 or 3 times what they were predicting it would make.
Oh.
It was like the biggest February opening of all time, and $150 million, like over $300 million worldwide in 4 days, and has gotten really good reviews. And so now all of a sudden they're not worried about that PG-13 rating, because the problem with all these teen angst movies, or whatever you call it, the urban blight, what the fuck's that called? The dystopia.
Oh, the dystopian
Like when you watch that Catching Fire, or
Hunger Games,
the Hunger Games, where these people get slashed up and killed, but no one bleeds because they have to be PG-13. So you can't show blood and no one swears. Like, who's not going to say fuck as they get an arrow in their neck? Come on, think it through. So now they're kind of saying like maybe not the Hunger Games, and they hope, please God, I hope that series of movies is over. But Wolverine is going to go R-rated, and I feel like Iron Man
should be R-rated.
Yeah,
Iron Man should be R-rated. Absolutely.
Like, come on.
Because those characters are just like they're R-rated characters, just trying to play in a PG world.
I've enjoyed the
and they just have to, and especially the Hunger Games. I couldn't even watch that because it was so stupid.
I have other reasons for not watching.
Yeah, I mean, but their numbers are legion, but. One of the things is like all these people are dying, but strangely no one bleeds. How is that possible?
Right.
I've enjoyed the tweets about how people, oh my God, we had to leave the movie in the first 9 minutes. Why didn't they warn us how this movie was not for children? It's an R rating.
Oh, yeah. That's why they have a rating system.
And if I'm not mistaken, Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. He actually did like a little PSA on there saying, do not take your children to this movie.
And from what I hear, if I'm not mistaken, I hear in the comic books the character is gay. He has a boyfriend.
Oh. So
not only is it kind of foul-mouthed, but allegedly it's an alternative lifestyle that Scalia would not have any part of.
Well, he wasn't part of the movie.
So somebody's got to tell me, because I know it's a more fun comic book, but I've also heard like the language and everything is appropriate. And this is the movie that everyone thought was going to be dead in the water. There really wasn't high expectations for it until Comic-Con, and then they played the trailer over and over at Comic-Con because it just was so popular, and people were losing
their shit
they didn't realize that they were really going to go full tilt with the R-rated and have him be kind of have him be an anti-hero or an asshole or whatever it is. I'm supposed to be seeing it tomorrow, so
good for you.
Because I mean, it has sounded interesting. I saw with the Comic-Con, that was the only big news that came out of that this year that I've paid any attention to. And it says Ryan wants him to have a boyfriend in the next movie. So yeah, it's just
so do we.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how people at work have been coming up and asking me about this, and I'm like, it's not my genre. And then as I'm hearing more about it, I'm like, but if it's kind of dirty and kind of potty mouth, I might be back in.
A little language, a little suggestiveness, a little violence. Al is in.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I love the Bad News Bears from the 70s, so it's not like it's anything highbrow going on here.
Right.
That was a good movie.
But the fact that Wolverine they're aiming for an R rating now. So, and some of those movies are just so violent that, like, this whole thing of the only thing that keeps you from being R is the amount of blood you show. I'm sorry, when you blow people up and shit, that's R.
That's really hard. We've been actually kind of debating that in my house for a long time, because we've got, like, the kids are now 7 and 10, and like for the last 5 years, I keep looking at Sharon and going, are you really taking him to see this? Like, I understand you've seen all the other Avengers and whatever, but are we really doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's somewhat, like the last Superman movie, I was like, am I really sitting next to an 8-year-old kid watching this?
Yeah, that last Superman was terrible.
That makes me terrible. Well, it wasn't a good movie anyway, but...
But then it was just hugely violent. That last 20 minutes was like, okay, so Superman now has a temper tantrum and destroys the city. And
that's the problem. The problem with me is that's the lesson that kids walk out of that with is, oh my God, how cool was that? He destroyed all the things.
Yeah.
Like, none of it was, I can't remember what the actual moral of the story to the last Superman movie was. See, it's even escaped me, and I'm always looking for the moral of the story. But you know what I mean? Like you don't walk out with that feeling anymore. You know.
Sometimes you're not happy that Diane Lane's your mother. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
That was a terrible movie. I was really like annoyed with them because I liked Superman Returns with Brendan Routh or Roush or whatever his name was, the one that got trashed. But I thought that was very good, except for they had that actress that I feel I lose interest in her. Like I forget who she is midway through a movie. Like her name's like Kate something, and I don't know who she is.
Is it Beckinsale?
No, it's like Bosworth or something like that.
Oh, sure.
She weighs like 4 pounds.
I don't know what she looks
She's
like.
the most generic looking human I've ever encountered on, like, that's supposed to be famous.
Oh.
And halfway through a movie, I'm like, wait, who is she again? Like,
Oh.
I've seen like 3 movies with her, and I forget she's acting in front of me. Like, I start to look at the popcorn for more dialogue because I like, like, I don't know who finds her intriguing.
Sure. But the thing that I like about a superhero movie is that whole, it's maybe a little too romantic, but the good guy wins in the end. You know what I mean? Like in a superhero movie, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy, and you get through the conflict of the
if in this movie one of the characters is gay, he gets it in the end. It's totally different.
Hey. That's a different kind of movie, and that's rated R, and that's okay.
R for ready to go.
Oh, God, we got the furries back. So I like that Deadpool ends, almost all the comics end with him watching Golden Girls, and he has an obsession with B. Arthur. So I'm intrigued to see what this is like, but I like the idea that we're finally going to make these movies. We're not going to keep making them for impressionable teenage boys. We're going to make them R-rated, and you have to go with a parent.
Right.
So someone can explain to you, like, when you get shot in the head, you bleed and die horribly.
Yeah.
That's what that...
Like, even The Walking Dead would be rated R. Like, that's so violent and so gory that would be rated R. Like, they couldn't do any of that stuff in a movie.
Yeah, no.
With the level they do. But it's cable, so cable's getting away with R while these violent movies are pretending to be PG-13. It's craziness. But The Walking Dead came back, so we'll switch to that. Really good, very violent episode. All kinds of shit went down. It was a good welcome back. I was very excited to be back on the Walking Dead train. Tell you what, I wasn't a huge... I thought the setup of the first half of the 6th season, I know they're trying to be artsy or something, but it just kind of keeps losing me that we just have to see like episodes of the same day. Like we're doing like Ran, the movie. Courage Under Fire is another one that does it, where you see the same event told from every different character.
Sure.
Great, we get it. It
I
was
only
one
have
long
patience
day.
for 3 of those.
But considering one of your characters aged like 9 months during the course of his 2 days, and he's a teenager, so it shows.
Right.
Like you got to stop
gotta
with
move along at some point.
That all 8 episodes took place over 3 days.
10-year-old Carl is going to be
16,
45,
and now he can shave. Like he started the day prepubescent, and now he's shaving, and it's later that same afternoon.
That's a hell of a bad day.
It is.
That's a real bad day.
You went through a lot today, son.
But they
you became a man today.
They honestly really like brought it all together. So this should have been more like the mid-season finale of that thing that pisses me off. The winter finale that all shows do now, where they have to leave you on a cliffhanger.
Which is terrible, because now I've forgotten what happened.
Right.
Now I forgot what happened. I turned on Scandal the other day, and I was like, what? Wait, I can't remember who we're in love with this season. Fuck.
Yeah. And I saw that on Grey's Anatomy they tried to kill off Meredith again.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it yet.
I just saw I haven't seen it. I just saw the commercials that once again Meredith was in peril.
That bitch has died 11
times.
Like,
she's in peril.
Keep it together.
Right. Every episode is parenthetically Meredith is in peril.
Yeah. So things that have come back, we'll go with John Oliver, who, like, of course, has a whole show prepared, and then the biggest news story of the last 100 years comes up outside Watergate. But Scalia dying, and they have to change the whole show, and it was so well done. And then the topic that he has for his last segment that's always very informative was on voter registration and voter ID, and he talks about, and it is brilliant. Find it, Google it. It's HBO, so it's all over YouTube. But he just gives you a breakdown of all the people that are trying to pass voter ID because it's so, and then he tells you like how many cases there are, that the one state found like 900 cases of voter impersonation, which is what the ID is supposed to stop. And then it came down to like 6 because some of them were like people just had the same name. Like it was a father-son, so there really are 2 people. Some of it was like clerical errors.
Alfred and Alfred. Right.
So it was clerical errors. Like, it was all these different things. And so when it got down to it, like, almost all of it was the error. You know what I mean? There was no voter fraud. But then he goes and he shows these people on cameras in the Senate, in their state senates, voting for other people. Mm-hmm. And then the one Senate is so corrupt that they made sticks for them, so they don't even have to stand up and walk to the other person's desk.
Oh, God.
So they have voting sticks. So the lady that was saying about how, it's this, this...
From the one from Texas?
It's an epidemic.
Yeah.
It's a right being handed down by God to vote, and the importance of one person, one vote. And then they just show her, and she actually votes for someone else who's walking to his chair, and she runs and votes for him. Mm-hmm. Like, she gets the vote. Right. But it's all on tape, and they're all like...
and they're back and forth and back and forth.
And she gets on TV, and she's like, we're very tired. We're not allowed, lunch breaks or dinner breaks. Sometimes we don't get bathroom breaks. And they're like, but you won't allow someone early voting or like voting on Sunday because of work and stuff. You're too busy to cast your vote sitting down in a chair that you have to turn on and vote for someone else. But you want to deny people the right to vote because they might have whole lives. Like, you're literally
doing
for a living. Nothing.
Yeah.
Your job is
Your
to vote,
whole
and you
job
fucked
is
it
voting,
up.
right?
So just watching all these different people that gave these speeches on, and I can't think of the word, like, they were being sanctimonious, but just how... Oh,
they were so infuriated and
ordained right, yes. So, but it was the right that they're talking about is just handed down from Jesus himself.
Absolutely.
Through a pink, the carnation that is the Virgin Mary's tears.
Hello? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus signed the Constitution.
I'll vote. Okay.
Yeah, big numbers.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So you have to see it. So John Oliver.
And the guy who said that, from Wisconsin, who said they had him on video. Like, they had this cell phone video.
They have a video of him voting for someone else, and he says, well, that's just character assassination there. No, that's you doing something being caught on camera.
That's unedited footage.
That would be you
doing
assassinating your own character.
It was hysterical.
We're just
self-assassination.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Always very ridiculous.
It is so funny. So John Oliver back and with a vengeance, and just
thank God we need him.
30 minutes of beautiful TV. And one of the funny things that he did, because they had the dogs as the Supreme Court a couple seasons ago, and they did the whole thing where they had different dogs reserved. So when he said Scalia died, he said, and now we have to kill
one
Sparkles. Whatever the dog's name was, he goes, it was in your contract, Sparkles. It was in your contract. And then they show the contract with the paw print with signed Sparkles. He's so fucking good.
Very funny.
The Grammy Awards were on yesterday. I watched none of it because I don't know any of these songs. The only category I knew someone in, like I know who Alabama Shakes is, but I don't know the names of their songs, was the country guy, Chris something or other.
Sure.
That was a backup singer for everybody, and I bought his songs because he was on The View, and he was really good. Yeah, Chris Stapleton.
Oh, his album's really good. I was listening
really
to it
good.
today.
I bought the whole CD. It's really good. Yeah, big bushy guy,
beard.
beautiful bluesy
that
voice.
describes everyone.
No, but he's the one that did the BB King.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, I did.
Bonnie
The BB King and Bonnie Raitt tribute. That BB King was really good.
Great.
And then I was kind of excited because I only read about it afterwards. When they said that they did a tribute
Harrison.
to.
Hi guys.
They did a tribute. They did a tribute to.
I can't even say it, can you?
I can't.
Are you going to Lionel Richie?
Lionel Richie?
There was a brief but glorious moment earlier yesterday where I thought Lionel Richie was dead.
Then he got up from the audience, and you're like, "Damn it!"
Well, I didn't watch it. I just heard there was a tribute to David Bowie and a tribute to Glenn Fry, and then they said a tribute to Lionel Richie, and I'm like, God damn! Goodbye.
You were not cheering.
Well, I know. Because remember, there was a time when Lionel Richie didn't suck. None of us remember it. You weren't even alive.
I wasn't even alive.
I actually.
But he had a long stretch of being good. Most of it was with the Commodores.
Well, sure.
Right.
And I'm not going to pretend I'm made of stone.
Wasn't he the
I
guy
enjoyed
that
Truly.
He sang "Get Out of My Dreams"? Was that
No.
No, that's
I was kidding. It's Billy Ocean.
The song that shall not be talked about again.
Silly Ocean.
I thought that died when I came on the show.
No, I wish.
I
do
brought it
too.
up because of all the bad things that happened.
Get in the back seat, baby.
You know, I did sit down and watch
Who,
it.
me? Yeah, you.
And by sit down, I mean I did other things in the house, and then they finally announced their performance, and I went and I sat down and I watched the performance, and then I got up for the 30 minutes in between every fucking performance.
Right.
Well, they ended up giving out like 5 awards on camera.
I don't give a shit about awards. No, I hate award shows and all the speeches and things.
I can't stop peeing. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. But you know what I have to say, and it's my prior to the Grammys, it was already my new obsession, and it is currently my obsession. Demi Lovato.
She did a very good job.
She was amazing.
I was really impressed. I was surprised that she came out and sold that song as well.
Do you think that her parents knew she'd look so much like Demi Moore when they named her Demi?
I don't know.
I mean, for the love of God, she looked so much.
I feel like no, but yeah, no. I
think that probably no.
But I feel like
really
no.
She sold that better than I ever expected.
She has been selling it for so long we didn't even know, and she popped up. My obsession began because she popped up on my news feed from it was like a Billboard music, women in music, something concert, blah blah blah.
Okay.
And she kills this song of hers called Stone Cold. Okay. And by kills it, I mean she will make you want to just die and cry. You're so heartbroken by the way that she sings this song.
Wow.
And she even posted on Twitter this week about how she almost kind of hates singing that song because it wrecks her emotionally. It's amazing. Oh. And so then the obsession began, and I went down the YouTube hole of Demi Lovato, and seriously, whenever this girl sings, like she has a couple albums out, and they're all like kind of auto-tuned and poppy. You know, they're just pop. You know, they're dancey teen girl pop kind of stuff. But this girl can sing.
She did last night.
She did, absolutely. We saw this much of it last night, but if you have a chance and if you want to just go down
I was totally impressed.
Beautiful and amazing voice that you had no idea was coming out of this gorgeous girl, Demi Lovato. Like, I will send you personally. I will send you links, like whatever you need.
And I wanted to Lady Gaga up a little bit, and then became a woman. Like she was just, she seemed like
she was like a Disney kid, and all of a sudden she's a real woman now,
absolutely,
a real live woman.
And I really just wanted to sit down with Gaga on how to like just own it, sing the way you want to.
I want her to stand in the middle of the stage and sing exactly like she did at Billboard Music Awards.
But I mean to get rid of the
teeny bop,
the egg crap, the little transition that Gaga's done now into like serious musician of like I don't need all that other shit. I can just stand here and sing the shit out of something.
Oh my god!
Because I have that kind of voice.
I just found a Gaga song that I'm like, where did this come from? I'm not even sure what it's about. It just showed up on a Grammy playlist that I was listening to today, and it was something about Until It Happens to You, and I was like, what?
Good, yeah,
very good.
Oh, you find that and share that because there's the one that she talks about her. I've talked about it before a long time ago. It's the why can't I think of the name of it? I can see it. She's done it so many times, and she usually sets fire to the piano, and it's about her father. It's the song about how her father won't take care of himself, and she's like, I'm never going to sing again, never going to write again, never going to do anything because you're going to die. She's like, if you don't, like, the whole thing is about that story.
This is Demi Lovato?
No, that was Gaga. I'm sorry, we're trying to... I found... before we go on, I didn't want to lose too much. I found a picture of Scalia from the John Oliver.
Yes.
And I can't remember what it's like sprinkles or sparkles or something, but it's really funny.
It was cute, but that's the dog they used as Scalia.
I love dogs with plural names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Grammys, I was disappointed with, and I had higher hopes for, and I had never heard of them. The Alabama Shakes group.
Oh, they're so good.
But
they're really good.
I am in hopes that something else they do is better than that goddamn song they did last night that has one fucking line in it.
You know, it's no. They're not very lyrically.
She's got a range. That girl's got a range.
Yeah. That girl's voice is super powerful, and it's got that very like they're very good, and they're not lyrically very complex, because her voice is all of it, and they've got that kind of like harsh folk sound to them, which is admittedly like kind of hard to get your mind around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I couldn't get there.
They've been on SNL a time or two, and they're very good. Every time I hear them, I end up buying the song. Whatever the song is, I usually always end up being like, I just need to own that because I like her voice. I like. And they do get into that whole, like, we're just going to be a band.
Kind of a folk bluegrass kind of thing happening.
And they do that thing where the song lasts a little bit longer than it should because they just keep playing the shit out of it, and she kind of goes to church a little bit on every song. But I enjoy her.
I wasn't on board with that. But overall, I recorded it thinking there might be something I want to go back and revisit, and I might. Who knows? But I thought the Gaga thing she did for Bowie was decent.
I still haven't seen it.
And that seemed to fall like 50-50. Like either you hated it
I
or you
really
loved it.
I thought you.
It was okay. I expected her to do some more stuff that was really bigger for him. I felt she stayed like that Hero song. I have no idea where the hell that came from.
Moulin Rouge. That's huge.
Never
That's
heard
that's a
big song.
I figured China Girl was going to be in there somewhere. A couple other ones. I mean, she did Pressure. She did that. But I figured
the very beginning.
But Heroes is kind of
and then Major Tom. I get that.
Yeah.
Which the beginning was just brilliant. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, where she superimposed in his
With the
face.
projection.
Yeah.
But that was kind of his. That kind of brought him. Heroes kind of brought him back to attention. But that had such a big part in Moulin Rouge.
Not a big deal to me either. But like I knew that piece, and so it not one of my favorite things. But
yeah,
seeing.
But I mean, Moulin Rouge just brought that song back.
Right. And it
hardcore
made sense for her to do that.
And if you were around karaoke anytime during the Moulin Rouge phase,
sure.
like they were singing that Elephant Love song every fucking. And the only part of the Elephant Love song that doesn't annoy me is when they go into Heroes by David Bowie, because they change it up a little bit and they make it this big anthem that he didn't. He sang it one way and they reimagined just about every song in that movie. But that's how that one became like of that generation. Like she's of the right age to have Moulin Rouge out and just been like.
Right.
I really did think she was brilliant, though.
But
I'll be surprised that when you guys watch it, if
I chose that moment because I was like I was buckled in for Hamilton.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally buckled in for that. Partially because I guess they lead into each. Oh my God, the Ellie Goulding and Andra Day was amazing. Yeah, I had just run across her like last week.
I heard both of those names and didn't know who the fuck they were. Except I think Ellie Goulding is that annoying person that sang opening for. I want to say she might have been for Bruno Mars, but she opened. Oh no, maybe she opened for Gaga. Somebody, and I remember, and I was like, I don't need anything to do with this person ever in my life.
Okay.
And I walked out of the room when those two came on because I don't know who the fuck I don't need any of that.
The one.
Isn't she Anything Can Happen?
Who?
Isn't that
not
her big
Ellie
song?
Goulding? What's the
Andra Day?
Andra Day. Wow, was her voice amazing? For sure, but the two of them together.
Andra Day's big song is "Rise Up." It's not my favorite, but that's
just her voice. Like I don't know that I would have been able to.
The one that I love is called "Forever Mine."
Okay.
For Andra Day, Ellie Goulding. I can hear it in my head. Hang on.
I feel like she's Anything Can Happen.
It is. She is. No, she's "Love Me Like You Do."
Love me like you do. Love me like you do.
Exactly.
It sounds just like that. You guys sounded just like that last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like them.
Turns out I got nothing then on who she is. She doesn't look familiar. Who's the girl that sings Anything Can Happen?
Is that Tori Kelly?
So while you guys are looking for that, obviously the Adele moment.
Oh, it is Ellie Goulding.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's
okay,
I love that fucking song. Anything Could Happen.
Yeah, but the Adele moment. I'm sure that you have heard about that at this point.
So seriously,
yeah.
First of all, they announced what song she was going to sing, and I was like, no.
Right. Also, did anybody else know that Bruno Mars? Am I the last one to know that?
He co-wrote the song. Yeah. I just learned it last night because I haven't read through all the liner notes.
Me either. I was
astounded.
Which song was she singing? I forgot already.
She sang "All I Ask."
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
And Bruno Mars.
I did know that. We talked about that when it came out.
I don't recall ever talking about it because I think I would have remembered that.
And
I may have been
sadly,
out of the room.
the microphones in the piano fell down. And
in the piano.
And nobody fucking did anything about it. Like for halfway through the song. You're like, wait, is that? Because at first you're like,
I thought it was. I thought there was a guitar off stage strumming along.
Is what I thought. Like, who decided to play the broken guitar during
Who's
the Adele
fucking
solo?
moron that thought playing the guitar was a good idea?
Right.
But yeah,
I'm like, just stop him. Just stop him. Please stop him.
And again, the glory and the magic of Twitter. Adele herself.
Yeah.
Went to Twitter
Shit
and she was like, the microphone fell down on the piano. Shit happens.
Yeah. And that's what live singing is. You take
and then she went to In-N-Out for a burger.
All right,
girl.
Yeah. You could certainly see it in her eyes though when the first sound went wrong and she could hear it in her headphones.
And she knew,
eyes, like she just looks at a camera and the eyes are like what the fuck is going on?
But she handled it.
Oh, she totally handled it. Yeah.
And when people were like, she was a little pitchy. I kind of wanted to pop him right in the fucking throat. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
One of our friends.
But if you're playing, it is going to sound pitchy if you have that other note.
No, absolutely.
Because I heard it too, and I turned it off because I didn't know. I didn't hear about the controversy until later, but it was playing, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds off. Like somebody's hitting something sour there.
The people that I want to punch in the throat are the people that immediately went to like social media and were like, "Oh my God, Adele was amazing." No, that was a shit ass performance. Like Adele is amazing.
Yes,
but that one didn't.
She's wonderful, but that one was terrible. Something went horribly wrong there.
Right. And
that was not amazing.
All kinds of credit for singing the way through.
Right.
What else are you gonna do?
She was like screaming. It sounded like
she never hiccuped. Like you saw the terror in her eyes, but she never flinched.
Yeah.
I think I would have been like, could you get those microphones out of the piano, please? Thank you.
And you always think, like, can we start over? Yeah.
And you know what's funny? Is she has enough charm, she could have done that. She could have been like, wait.
Something ain't right.
That is not okay.
So now there's going to be like the return of 7 million Adele albums.
I really thought that was too bad though, because here this big.
I was not, because I was not prepared to cry last night, so I was.
You were happy that
I was like, wait, this is the song, and then it sounded terrible. And I was like,
to be the and Adele is back at the Grammys and this big huge thing, and then for that to happen, it really, because she's talked about how
because her performance of Rolling in the Deep is just like chill worthy.
But she has talked about how anxious she gets and everything else. So on top of everything, then you're performing at the Grammys. And
I think she's pretty much bulletproof for this year. She's.
I don't disagree.
When little Bruno Mars walked up from the stairway and came to give his little announcement, I just want to pick him up and take him home. He is the cutest little thing.
He is the cutest little.
Yeah,
that is one cute little Filipino. What are we passing ourselves off as? So I'm waiting for the.
We're back to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on. Like, I thought we'd get this train back on some kind of track.
Why would we do that?
So I'm waiting because every year all the Grammy performances eventually make it online. Last year it was me that put the Hoser. What was that group's name that sang with Annie Lennox?
Hoser.
Take Me to Church.
Oh yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah, that was the highlight. So I was I almost taped it. 'Cause I'm like, there might be a moment like that, but I was like,
Tori Kelly and James Bay were really good. Ellie Goulding and Andra Day. Like Andra Day, go listen to Andra Day. Andra Day, like the opposite of night.
I have it recorded. We can watch it after the show.
And Bette Midler was very fond of the Bonnie Raitt.
I missed that. I must have been at the store. At some point, I was like, I'm tired of waiting.
And when the Eagles came on and sang.
Yeah, with Jackson
Take
Brown.
It Easy.
Jackson Brown certainly is too old to.
He should not. I don't think he should have been that person.
He still gives me a little wood in the pants.
No, but not when you watch this, because he was almost like back here.
Yeah, he was a little off. I felt that he was a little off. He should not have been that voice. It should have been somebody completely different.
Yeah.
Who would have sold it more. But like I would have been happy. Would have been Marty Stewart, country guy.
I know what you're talking about.
But Marty Stewart sings that on another album very, very well, and I would have thought just for sound wise, it would have been better.
The No Hats tour with Travis Tritt.
But seeing them all together for the first time performing live since he passed away,
I thought Henley looked.
I was
great.
it's like wow.
He always does look good though.
Really
and Jackson Brown's kind of like the unofficial Eagle. I mean, they were.
Yeah, but he's
so
unofficially an old Eagle. Like he's real old.
He's on my list. He's on my bulletproof list though. I love Jackson Brown.
You know what? I'm a fan. I just was a little bit.
That song that girl could sing. I love that song.
I do. I
just love him.
But that was really good. And talk to me, because I am not hip hop kind of rap kind of person.
You're talking about Kendrick?
Is it Kendrick? What's the
starts with an A?
I want to say Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
that's who everybody's been talking about.
I had no need for that.
I will tell you, none of that is. There you go. None of that is kind of my type of music.
I feel like it's because it's something that we can't identify to. Like we don't identify.
We're going with the Beyonce.
I was impressed
the day the
with
white
the
people
performance.
found out. That's why I've heard great things about it.
When it came to like as far as what the song or what this not, but as far as the performance and the theatrics of it and how put together.
Well, there was a lot going on. I got
really
that.
Thought it was great. I really thought that was great.
I was secretly hoping for Cell Block Tango.
Kind of, right? I could see that.
All I could think about was, is the whole fucking place going to catch on fire from that inferno he had on stage?
Right. But then again, so did Alice Cooper. And what the fuck was Johnny Depp doing
Why the fuck is Alice Cooper at everything, by the way?
Right.
Now, all of a sudden again.
I need to know more about Johnny Depp, though, because I'm like, what the fuck? I have a little article about Johnny Depp showing up and playing with...
he's actually in a band, like the Hollywood Vampires or whatever.
I know, but it's weird. Like, all of a sudden, Johnny Depp is...
Of course he's fucking
Joe
weird.
Perry is there from... why am I blanking? Where the fuck Joe Perry? From Aerosmith.
From Aerosmith.
Joe Perry I almost said Vincent Price, Alice Cooper.
Just as old.
Just as old.
Yeah.
And Johnny,
Same song.
again, something else I didn't need. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Take it back to the Viper Room.
Every time I see Alice Cooper, I'm like, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, locally, because he lives in Phoenix, he's from here. The funny thing is, he does commercials for local car lots, which is hilarious to see.
And he's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
Back when the Taco Bell that I worked at was the teeny tiny little store 21 on Scottsdale and Thomas.
Right.
With just the 4 tables inside. It was mostly a drive-through.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
They had closed down the fire pits and stopped all that nonsense. But he would come in late at night and he would sit at a table, like the table right, like staring at the cashier and right at the manager's office, and he would sit there and eat his food. And he was always very friendly. I mean,
Tacos are universal. I understand.
It wasn't like a daily thing, but he was in quite often, and he would always say hi to everybody and would sign any autographs. But he came in late at night, so there was never a lot of people. And Kenny Loggins used to come through the drive-thru. That used to make me laugh.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, and his license plate was like Footloose or something.
He's from here?
Yeah, Kenny Loggins is local too.
I didn't realize that.
I don't know if he is from here, but he lived here for a long time.
Okay. Stevie Nicks.
Kind of like Wayne Gretzky. Yeah. You know what I mean? Lives here, but no one knows why.
Did not know that either.
Oh, yeah. We don't have
Did
winter.
Not know that either.
Right. Because it was
Ryan Sandberg.
Because it was 90
Doesn't
degrees today, friends.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah,
I was just gonna say,
Yeah, I forgot.
He may have a vested
So
interest
then,
in the Valley.
so let's finish up the Grammy Awards. So the big, go ahead.
One last thing with the Grammys. When you had brought up Bonnie Raitt, I mean, that really was the performance. I thought that sold the whole night.
And she's so good. How could she not be?
Yeah, right.
Her voice.
64 years old. I looked her up.
Her voice.
Because I kept doing it all night last night. How old is everybody? Just to find out how old they were.
Yeah. And Stevie Wonder, I just enjoyed that tremendously with Pentatonics.
I can read Braille.
Yeah.
You
can't. He flipped the award around. He goes, "You can't read this. You can't read Braille." It's very funny.
That was very funny.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. And what did he perform with Pentatonics?
What did they sing?
That was good.
It was really great.
I don't recall the one.
Yeah, I gotta find out. So then the big scandal was my dear friend and coworker Natalie Cole did not get her due.
Sure,
and I have to say,
at the end of the
I heard that the family and everybody are very upset that she didn't get a tribute part like David Bowie.
And you mean singing? She was in the in memoriam.
But she just maybe it was too sudden.
Right. She was the end.
She was the end of the in memoriam.
They held her out of the memoriam.
She died around a day or two after Bowie. She died very soon after Bowie.
Oh, was it that close?
Oh no, Bowie was like New Year's Eve.
I thought it was Bowie, Glenn Fry, and her.
They died very close together. There was no reason to leave her out of it, and not because I like the bitch, because I don't, but they do.
Can't tell.
It's really your fault. Let me find
Whose
her.
fault?
The Grammy's fault.
Oh, I thought you said it was like my fault. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's all your fault. No, but you got to take the shit that they're offering.
Oh, they did. That's the Way of the World tribute to Maurice White.
Right. So they did a song for Maurice White, and he died even more recently. They did the Eagles. They did her. Well,
they had a clip of her unforgettable bullshit on the end of In Memoriam.
And it lasted a long time.
It was really long.
And then she got to smile and nod her way out of it.
And they faded
again, I didn't see it, but when people were outraged, I'm like, well, yeah, she's a 9-time fucking Grammy winner. Somebody was drinking her Kool-Aid, and it wasn't me. She got Best New Artist, Best R&B Female twice for Sophisticated Lady, and for that song that we were talking last week. It's called This Will Be. I always think it's called Everlasting Love.
This will be parenthetically Everlasting
Love. Yeah, but
Love.
got the shovel and dug up her daddy, Unforgettable, got Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Traditional Pop Performance, and this was the year that they changed the rules. It won Song of the Year, even though that song had been recorded 18 million times. I think Song of the Year now has to be written this year. You can't do a remake. A remake can be called Record of the Year, but it can't be Song of the Year.
Got it.
Okay. It has to be the year it was written. Or the first time that it became, not the year it was written, but the first time it became popular is your only chance to make it Song of the Year. And then, creepy as all fucking get out, and I did not know about this travesty of justice, she sang When I Fall in Love with her dead father, and it won Best Collaboration with Vocals. When I Fall in Love was me and a guy I was seeing in the year of this song.
In the year of our Lord.
Oh, no. From Sleepless in Seattle with Celine Dion. Can you imagine? I was dating somebody, and that was a Celine Dion song was her song. Her and whoever the guy is, she sang with that When I Fall in Love with Sleepless in Seattle. So beautiful. But a father and a girl and her dead dad singing "When I Fall in Love" is just
I had forgotten about that.
That makes my sphincter tighten. To the delight of no one. And then in 2009, she made an album called Still Unforgettable, which I figure has to be still unforgivable. So 9 times they liked her. You owe her. Like, you did that. You made this mess. You got to sing to it.
Right.
You got to dig up the father, put him on a video
so
screen.
Next year, maybe we're going to have an overly done, overproduced.
No, because they missed it with because they were shitty to Donna Summer, too. Like, I thought they handled that poorly, too.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, all the award shows kind of like skipped over that
I heard from LA, When I Fall in Love with My Dead Father. That'd be a great song.
Unforgivable, my father's dead.
That's the 11th obscure porn genre.
Yeah.
It's the same time that Luther Vandross is dancing with his dad.
No.
So at some point, I just decided to start erasing
maybe
pages that I had done. Okay, so the BAFTA Awards were this Sunday. And everyone likes the BAFTA Awards to watch them, but because they're edited down and they're like the Grammys, half the awards aren't given out on the show, and they don't even give you the courtesy fuck of like putting on the bottom like earlier tonight. This award won. So if you were watching the BAFTAs, you didn't realize that Mad Max Fury Road was on a roll and winning quite a few awards, and then didn't win Best Picture. So if you were in the audience, you were probably thinking you were in the middle of a Mad Max Fury Road sweep. But if you're watching at home, it didn't win anything. It won costumes because they had gotten rid of the other 4 or 5 awards it won. So I'm like, this is edited down. Some speeches were obviously clipped.
And don't they make like, is it a 2-hour boom in and out or something like that?
They do 2 hours because they edit it down. They make actually it's 2.5 because they edit down the red carpet into a 30-minute thing too. So that goes bam, 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 bam. So I mean, it is quick.
Is the same funny guy hosting it?
Yeah, Stephen. I always forget his name.
Because we watched it together one year, and it was so funny. The guy was he was on point, and he was getting everybody.
It wasn't his best year, and he came across
Stephen Fry.
He came across as like creepily hitting on people. But then Cuba Gooding said that the first time he was on the BAFTA stage, Stephen Fry kissed him or did something, so he brought him a flower for Valentine's Day. And they did a really funny kiss cam where they put it around like Bryan Cranston and Julianne Moore, and then it was Maggie Smith and Leonardo DiCaprio. Right. And he like leaned forward to kiss her, and he thought she was offended, so he stopped back to apologize, and then she stood up and went for it. Like she was like, no, I just want to get better at this. And then you could see she's kind of like telling him that, want a hand job back behind the barn. And Rebel Wilson and Eddie Izzard. I always say his name wrong.
It was on BBC.
Yeah, BBC America. It is every year.
Drew was asking.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that was correct.
BBC America, and they play them quite a bit. I know they play them a lot that day. But so The Revenant won Best Picture, which now throws everybody into a tizzy because all the people on GoldDerby.com are trying to talk themselves out of The Revenant winning Best Picture. But now it won Best Director from the DGA. The BAFTAs have a really good record. And so everyone's kind of like, it'll be a big thing if the same person wins Best Picture 2 years in a row, the same producer, and the same director wins Best Director 2 years in a row. That's kind of, well, it's actually unprecedented. Unprecedented. John Boyega won the Rising Star Award for Star Wars, and he's a cutie. Turns out he's British, too. I kind of thought he might have been British. Brooklyn won Best British Film. Brie Larson, Best Actress. Sidney Poitier he won the Fellowship Award, and it was him in Los Angeles. For some reason, they didn't fly him. And the way that they were talking, I thought, oh, God, did he have some, like, massive stroke and everybody has to talk for him? But then he was fine. So they just had this really long, all these people in his house talking, and then it finally went to him, and it was like, oh, phew, I thought there was going to be some, like, injury.
Tragic story.
Let me see. Because there's so many more awards. Kate Winslet won for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, which kind of makes the Oscars a little bit more interesting. Mark Rylance, the guy that I keep talking about, finally won an award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Bridge of Spies. The Revenant won Best Sound, and a lot of people won that award with them. Best Direction, the Revenant. Adam McKay for The Big Short, Best Adapted Screenplay. That's going to win. Don't even worry about it. Best Original Screenplay.
Kuma. I just want people to drink.
Yeah, Kuma, drink. Best Original Screenplay is going to be Spotlight. Don't worry about it. Amy won Best Documentary Film. And then Mad Max Fury Road won for like makeup and hair design, costumes, production design, best editing, best production design, and Star Wars won best special effects. So there was some really there's just some fun stuff for the Oscars coming up that they threw a couple more like
curveballs
in there. So everybody at Gold Derby is like changing their votes, and it will really surprise me if The Revenant ends up being first a hit movie, which it has no business being. Right. This should be an art house movie that makes $20 and everybody's like, I never heard of that. It should be in that category. Then to like win a second best director, it's going to be the guy that did the cinematography's third Oscar in a row, because he did all that crazy shit with Gravity that was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Then he did Birdman last year, where he did that whole movie was pretty much one take. It had less edits than the commercial for The Revenant had. So he could be winning his third Oscar in a row for 3 different movies and 2 different Hispanic directors. And he's also your only chance to get any kind of Iñárritu is your only chance to get any kind of diversity up on that stage. Like, there's just the guys that wrote Straight Outta Compton are white. Like, there is just no hope.
Good point.
And it would be fun, and people are saying, like, do you think people in the Academy would vote to have Kate and Leo win in the same year? Like, would they be like, are they sentimental like the rest of us? And
Clearly,
it was cute.
Everyone is.
When she won, he stood up. He was like the only person standing, and he hugged her. And even I'm like, oh, they still love each other.
Of course they do.
I'll never let go,
They
Jack.
never let go.
Yeah.
They never.
Well, except for she
never
did.
really helped him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she'd have drowned to death.
I love that.
I understand.
I have
Drowned
an article
to
She
in
was
death.
kind of a Kumar. What's our word?
Kuma.
Kuma. She was kind of a Kuma.
She was a total Kuma.
I don't know.
As it turns out, Sidney Poitier did not fly to England because of bad health.
Oh, okay.
He was advised by his doctor to not go.
But he seemed in good health
Right,
while they were
not
while he was
incoherent.
studying.
Just maybe don't fly across the Atlantic.
So that's it for
Icebergs
entertainment.
and everything.
Okay. Remember earlier when Kat took that selfie? Remember she saw I just wanted to show everybody what the selfie looked like. That's what her.
That's cute.
Look
You
how
don't look
cute I
anything
am.
like the seal. That's a cute picture.
You look just like the seal.
It is.
And it was taken in Phoenix, Arizona, US of A.
So before Kat took her selfie, we had that one.
Not me. That is not Kat
Oh,
Cross.
I was confused for a second. All right, because you don't have the stick in your mouth
It's like
in that
looking in
picture.
a mirror.
Yeah. Now she's gonna put a stick in her mouth.
Oh,
There you
but
go.
Al, there's
I
one
knew that was
person.
gonna happen.
There's
You
one
set her-
person
set her up.
we have the death in. We have to talk about.
Scalia?
Oh, who
No.
else died?
No,
I didn't know.
I don't know who
Really, I can.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
'Cause
about
you-
that. I didn't write it down.
Because you told me to have this queued up.
Oh, right.
The Princess Protege and original hooker, I don't know how to describe her, Vanity, who was just lovely, and this song is so fucking hot.
It is.
So the lead singer there in the center.
Of Vanity 6,
Her.
Vanity, who I think she became born again Christian and went some kind of
totally
crazy
did.
at some point.
Totally dead. Denise Matthews, if I'm not mistaken, is her actual name. Wasn't
57 years old.
it kidney failure?
Yeah, sounds like she'd had long-term health problems.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And such a fun song.
And you know what's funny? And I had to look it up again today because I always got confused between Vanity
And
Apollonia.
Apollonia was shorter.
Apollonia was the one who was
I
with
can't
Prince.
tell that.
And Apollonia's in
She's the one
Purple
in
Rain.
Purple Rain.
Purple
Right, right.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
when I saw Prince the first time on tour, I saw the Prince, The Time, and Vanity 6.
Oh,
So-
wow, yeah.
So I saw them.
But when I saw,
Oh my God, I
because I
love
thought
them.
Sex Shooter was the same group, and it's not. That's Apollonia was Sex Shooter, Nasty Girl was
Nasty Girl.
Vanity.
And then if you can find
Sure,
it,
I
the
agree
song
with
that
you.
always cracks me up, and it's Vanity 6 is not on. Vanity 6 is not on iTunes. You can't buy that. So, and the only place you can find Nasty Girl that I can ever find is off of some. I can't think. It was a sex phone-in movie, something that Prince did the music for, and Nasty Girl found its way on that soundtrack. But it hasn't been available on CD in like ages and ages. I can't remember what the name of that movie is.
Oh.
But they had a song called, and if you can find it, it is so good. It's called "If a Girl Answers, Don't Hang Up, Just Talk About Her," and it is so much fun.
a
and
long title.
So I have to see if I have that vinyl for you to burn for me, because
It's right here. That you can get it right here or listen to it.
If
The girl answers.
if the girl answers the phone, what's it? The whole
if a girl answers, don't hang up, just talk about it.
There's a YouTube right here.
Oh,
has
okay.
it.
Huh? YouTube has everything.
Yeah, so that was just looking.
I didn't.
up.
I was looking to buy. I was looking to buy it though. Play a little bit. Find that song.
Well, give me time.
Right now.
Time, oh,
put
give
in
me
Vanity Fair a
time.
little bit
I don't need to
there.
go to. I'll find that song. But
So she's dead. But it's not a
Sad.
huge loss in
Still
music
sad.
no,
world.
I
since-
just you told me to get the song queued up,
Yeah,
and I worked
but-
really hard today.
But Nasty Girl was such a good song. And that was one of those songs like It's Raining Men.
Nasty Girl was in Girl 6.
Girl, that's the name of the movie. Girl
Called
6.
Girl 6.
Oh,
Which
and
I've
that's-
never fucking heard of.
No, but the only reason I did was because it was the only place that I've
Right.
ever found
Right.
Nasty Girl on CD that's what's burned into my
Okay.
library. And today I just went on iTunes to see if I could find, because I think in all the things that I lost with all the different computer failures, one of the things I lost was If a Girl Answers, Don't Hang Up. Just talk about her.
well,
So funny.
tragic.
there's a lovely little feature that I don't know if you know about on the YouTubes. A website has been developed that will automatically rape the audio directly from the.
Yeah, the sound quality is just not as good. I'm not happy with it.
I've used it on many a thing, and I don't know
Okay.
that you've noticed yet.
No, I mean, I've known the few things that you've done it with. I can tell.
But it's if you don't have it at
Yeah,
all, it's
at all,
better
yeah.
than nothing.
And it's one of those things I have it on vinyl, so I just got to get it burned again. Or I could just probably look through and find out where the homemade CD is that it's on. But
Or it's probably at Zia, somewhere in a bin for 99 cents.
yeah,
Probably.
There's that.
Amazon.com. perhaps?
Somewhere like that. Cat Carlson, do you want to do something?
Sure.
Make it happen.
Come on.
come on.
Goodness gracious. Let's see. We've got judges forcing Apple to unlock people's phones.
Oh.
We've got homophobia abroad. We've got Cliven Bundy's in jail and plans to stay there. Colorado Planned Parenthood reopens. Self-driving cars.
Oh, and this.
Soccer player Barbie dolls. And a special surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Should we
Well
open with
done.
this?
Now, crime scene footage coming up in just a little bit. Let her do her thing.
We should do that after the crossover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
Where to start? Let's start with Cliven Bundy.
Oh, my buddy.
Douchebag.
Everybody's buddy. All right. Everybody's buddy. In case you don't quite remember, Cliven Bundy first hit our show and all kinds of other shows for an armed standoff with the federal government over grazing rights in, what state is he in?
He was in Nevada.
He was in Nevada at the time. So he, because he's got this huge ranch without warrants and everything, he's, they're not searching his ranch. They're not looking for him. However, he will now in Portland stay behind bars. A federal judge ruled, calling him a danger to the community after he arrived in Oregon to support the armed occupation of a national wildlife preserve led by his sons.
Yeah.
That's
Dicks.
right. Cliven Bundy, the patriarch of the upstanding
Douchebags.
Bundy family, who took over a wildlife preserve.
They're a bag of kumas.
Oh, they are. Flaming bag of
Flaming
Kumas.
bag of kumas.
But God loved the U.S. Magistrate Judge Janice Stewart, who also said that Bundy should not be released ahead of trial because there is a risk that he won't show up for future court dates. Federal prosecutors have called the 69-year-old lawless and violent in documents that were filed before the hearing.
Yeah, a gun-toting standoff where he was threatening to kill federal officers,
And
he was not. And they shook his hand and didn't take him to jail.
And
that was on his ranch.
And said that if things escalated, they were going to put their women and children up front. Like, clearly an upstanding, classy guy.
And this is a guy that
I
didn't
hadn't
go
heard
to
that.
jail at all. But people
No.
can't figure out why. But you're offended by Beyonce. That's where it is.
Yeah, but Judge Stewart believes that if he is released and goes back to his ranch, that is likely the last the government will see of him. So she's determined to hang on to him.
I thought you were gonna say hang him. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in. I'll go.
All right, well,
Sold.
Yeah.
Bundy was arrested in Portland last week on charges stemming from the 2014 armed standoff with federal officials who were rounding up his cattle over unpaid grazing fees. He came to Oregon to support the weeks-long occupation of the National Wild Refuge that his sons, Ammon and Ryan Bundy,
And they raised a lot of dildos.
they did.
A lot of glitter.
People were mailing them lots and lots
Glitter
of
and
dicks.
sex toys. There you go.
His sons were arrested in January and remain in jail, but 4 holdouts extended the occupation until last Thursday when they surrendered. The elder Bundy was not charged in connection with the Oregon occupation. All his charges stem from the 2014 Nevada standoff. Conspiracy, assault on a federal officer.
Oh, because did he get away? Is that why they didn't arrest him? Was he actually escaped?
I think
Or
he got away,
He went
yeah.
into hiding, and then he was dumb enough to.
And then he showed up for his kids. Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Because I know it was offensive that he made it through this federal standoff with guns and threatening to kill women and children.
Nothing happened. Right.
He's threatened to go all David Koresh on them and
Okay.
kill the babies. Because he's pro-life.
Oh, of course. Yeah, duh. It goes hand in hand.
Don't kick the baby.
Yeah, the charges against the Bundy family are many, some of which include that Bundy and his followers in 2014 set up traffic checkpoints on public roads and followed and intimidated federal officials who were trying to conduct surveys on federal land.
And now these are the ones like, why don't you have a gun? Like, you're out there in hunting country, like, just shoot the fucker.
Right.
I mean, they do it in every major city. They just shoot people.
Solved.
Right.
Just shoot the motherfucker.
Well, he might be in jail for a good long time.
I guess I'm siding on the wrong side with cops on this one, but come on.
Federal authorities claim that Bundy owes more than $1 million in fees and penalties for letting his cows graze illegally, just before any other charges.
Before anything,
before any other charges.
That's been going on.
So a little follow-up story there. I don't know if I have very exciting stuff today or not.
Well, I think it's good.
Let's see. Those of us that feel oppressed at home.
You're not doing something right.
No. And by at home, I mean here in the United States. You know,
I'm with him. Yeah.
All right. So the, equality movements and gay rights and gay marriage and all these things are making progress in the United States and progressing forward. And there are still times when, you feel fairly oppressed. I have a story about a fine gentleman from Indiana who's trying to pass all kinds of right removal laws. But just be happy that perhaps that you don't live in Indonesia. Indonesia, you might find big giant posters that say things like lesbians and gays may not enter our territory. Many Indonesians boast about their nation's acceptance of all kinds of people. The national motto literally means unity and diversity, but a look at a growing number of Twitter posts with the hashtag Tolak LGBT in recent days suggests the acceptance has limits. Tolak means reject. And LGBT, of course, stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Thank you.
As I understand it.
Yeah.
Some Indonesians, it would appear, are unabashedly and openly anti-LGBT. So LGBT fights continue around the world. Like it's not over. Sometimes we have a tendency to be like, okay,
relax about it.
We won. Woof.
Yeah, and the Indonesian thing has been making the news a lot lately because of they're like, wait, you guys are like, we're really on board,
right?
And now Amina puts in the chat room that Indonesia is the world's largest Muslim country, and Aceh, is it Aceh? I can't remember to say that province in particular is fucked up. So I've heard that it's the religion coming in over the secular government, kind of winning this new battle that everyone's really kind of surprised by. Of like, wait, when did that happen?
What? Sure. Yeah. This that I'm reading here says the recent online.
Either that or I mistook the tone completely of the article that I wrote, and they weren't being sarcastic. And they were like, "Oh, this country's not really accepting. This is just another."
This is just not.
I could have read it wrong.
Right.
It says the recent outbreak of anti-gay sentiment comes as Vice President Yusuf Kala asked the United Nations Development Program on February 15th of this week not to finance LGBT community programs in the country. Basically, the Vice President went to the United Nations and said, "You know what? Maybe don't give us this money.
Let's settle down, yeah.
Let's just leave them in the ditch. That's fine." The UN organization has prepared funds worth $8 million to support LGBT campaigns in Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. So the country's vice president is rejecting that. So it's a really big statement against the LGBT community. And being that it's a large Muslim country, I'm assuming that
yeah, that religion must play really a role somewhere.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's funny that a religion would.
That's weird.
Get in the way of people's civil rights. I feel like we should be against rights.
That.
Yeah.
Except that we live in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought that up only to kind of illustrate that there are still fights to be had and places to watch and things to look out.
And now I don't remember who just covered that story. Like it's probably CNN.
Probably Rachel Maddow. Did Rachel talk about that?
Not.
I feel like it was when CNN went international.
Incidentally, I feel like it's subtle eyeliner, a little bit of mascara.
I was busy reading a conspiracy. I'm sorry. I was actually busy reading and vetting a conspiracy theory story that somebody on my Facebook feed liked, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I was busy doing that, not paying attention to your story.
That's all right. I don't know how riveting it was. More in the follow-up department. Colorado Planned Parenthood reopens with, quote, more conviction than ever. After a deadly shooting in November, a Colorado Planned Parenthood clinic reopened this Monday. Quote, with our eyes to the future, said the president of the Planned Parenthood Rocky Mountains. After 3 months after a gunman opened fire at Planned Parenthood clinic in Colorado, killing 3 and injuring 9, the facility reopened this Monday. Today we open our doors in Colorado Springs. We didn't back down. We didn't disappear. We returned stronger and with more conviction than ever, the clinic said in a statement. The facility is still punctured with bullet scars and other damage from the 5-hour siege and police efforts to stop the shooter. Only about 1/3 of the building is in use this Monday as work crews continue to repair the rest. But inside, the clinic was ready to receive numerous scheduled appointments across a range of health services, because let's not forget, Planned Parenthood does a lot of things.
And you know who was...
It's not Abortion Depot.
Yeah, but even if it was, still legal.
I'm still on board.
I'll take my punch card.
I don't know how you're punching there, but go ahead.
It's like Dunkin' Donuts, like the 10th one is free.
10th one is free. I've had more babies pulled out of me than a burning orphanage.
Right.
Amazingly, at the debates this Saturday, Donald Trump was pro-Planned Parenthood. He was saying, he actually said, but we have to applaud them for all the good things that they do for women's health. And you could just hear the stage kind of go, huh? I mean, you want to talk about somebody turning the tables. That
I still feel like he's a setup. There's just something that smells really fishy about that.
And it's him, because he looks like he smells like fish.
He looks like fish.
But I got to tell you, that debate on Saturday was such a shit show of epic proportions that you really just didn't know. It was like SNL could just play it and pretend that they wrote it.
They didn't know which way to run.
The parts that were in Spanish, I mean, it just didn't matter where they went with that. It just went nuts.
You mean when
the two Cubans accusing each other of not speaking Spanish? It was a delight.
Cruz is he comes back with.
Is it just me? Maybe I don't usually pay this much attention to the debates, but is it? Did we get some kind of a punch card on debates? There's one every other day.
Right.
There's a town hall today in Toronto, which they haven't had a town hall yet. So I do have to give the Republicans that it is time for them to have a town hall, because
speaking of all the stuff that's been coming out about that, one of the things I read today was our dear friend Marco Rubio. He is trying to milk off the teat of suck on the teat of Reagan, as they all do. Right. One of Reagan's famous campaign videos was "It's morning in America," meaning that it was a new day. It was a new day. It was a resurgence. Yada yada yada, and it was an optimistic commercial that he did back in the 80s. I think it was in the 80
election.
Was it 80 or 84?
Oh, it might have been 84.
I think it was 84.
Inspired by
in fact, I know it was, because it said in the commercial it said something about the previous more than 4 years ago. That's what it said. So anyway. Well, Marco Rubio decided to get on that bandwagon, and it's morning in America, but it's the most pessimistic, horrible, it's not happy, nothing's happy, nothing's optimistic, and all of the footage that it shows of the ships in the harbors are all in Canada.
Yeah, it's Vancouver. So Cruz used a porn star to make his video, and this one shows Canada. Which Cruz noticed immediately and said, "Oh, I'm from there." Is it $1? It's $1, eh?
I was born there. Oops, I've been there before.
I used to be a citizen.
Oh, my God. But he forgot about it. Forgot he was a citizen.
Yeah, forgot.
Totally. Totes forgot.
Here's my biggest problem.
And that his dad's a communist.
Not that.
It's still alive.
I don't think so. I don't think.
And I'm still alive.
I think he was anti-communist.
I was surprised to see he was standing on a stage with Cruz, and because his dad hugged his dad. I was like,
he was put on this earth to annoy me.
I didn't think he was dead. I assumed he was dead.
I assume all people are dead until I see
it.
Exactly. So they pop up on Twitter.
Here's
if you're gone for longer than 2 days, I just assume you died.
He thought Lionel Richie was dead.
Right.
This one.
I was hoping.
He was hoping.
Difference.
Oh, yes.
Wishing and hoping.
Yeah.
He was dead all night long. Cat.
All night.
I can't. I'm trying to get this joke out, and it's not relevant anymore.
Karamu.
Where would you like me to go back to?
Yeah.
Kuma.
Tell me a point to make again.
My biggest problem with all of the debates is that neither my liver can stand nor my bank account can afford
the
drinking game, the play-along drinking game.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play any of them seriously like you're supposed to. I haven't been able to.
Well, honey, I haven't been able to drink like that in 20 years.
Well, yeah, good point.
I went under the bus the one time that I was home. I was trashed before they even said hello. My name is. I was finished.
Opening statement. I was like, out.
I was out. Yeah.
But I mean,
I was like,
after
good
all of
God.
these debates, can you imagine who can afford that much liquor?
Yeah,
can't.
That's a good point.
We've all worked in bars. We know how to get liquor.
Well, I know. Trust me, I know how to get liquor
Right.
at cost. No, that's fine. And by at cost, I
and,
mean maybe.
and it gets gifted.
Oops.
Gifted.
Sure.
they're awful though, and even the Democratic ones are just awful. Because I'm like, all right, the old man's just gonna keep saying free, 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 free.
Right.
And I agree with you, Hillary, or I'm sure that we agree on this.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's what keeps happening, which is great, except no.
And then she
Well,
would-
and you
then
don't
she-
need 10 of those. Like
No.
the thing
Right.
of it is,
Right.
I want to see them
Well-
like twice.
Yeah.
If you'll recall,
Next to each other.
the DNC didn't want all these. They
Right.
were done, and they're like,
Right.
no, we need more. But
and
the
they've been
DNC
fighting Debbie Wasserman Schultz for a
Right.
long time on this. And it
And again, for-profit news is ruining America, right there.
and they've burned that candle so hard that Ben Carson's never going to wake up again. This is more than he's been
For
awake
the
in
love
like
of
50
Jesus,
years.
what in God's name?
But the
is
best
he
part was
still-
they never even got to him. Like if he was your drinking person for the
Right.
debate,
You were
left
sober?
that sober.
You were
Because
driving.
they kept forgetting he
Yeah.
was on the stage. And at one
He
point
did
he's like,
not.
"I have something to say." They're like, "Not now." I'm paraphrasing
We'll call
only
it here.
slightly, but they're like, "Yeah,
Could you please drop out of the race?
just write it down on a piece of paper, and somebody in the audience will pretend to answer it."
Submit that answer.
Wow, God,
But
that
it really,
poor
and
fucker.
the weird thing is like they do the debates, and obviously Bernie has a young following because he's saying free college, free college, free college, free college.
Sure.
He's ringing the right bells to get young voters
You bet.
into the race and
Absolutely.
activated. And then they go and like Hillary clearly wins every debate because he's only talking about one thing, and she's really like he just brings everything back to economic disparity.
Right.
A great topic, but that's
A really great topic.
It's the only thing he's got.
Yeah, but when you're talking to 21-year-olds, there, and forgive me because I'm not trying to,
no.
clump.
No, but
I mean,
your
you're-
perspective is different.
It is different, and when you hear just those two things, I can track that.
Right,
Right?
and that's what I'm saying. So they
So-
go to
and it's-
Facebook
so
and they're
it's
like,
smart.
"Well, he won the debate by a
Right.
landslide." It's like, well, he actually, from a debating point of view,
Right.
he didn't at all. Like she had cogent points on like every topic, and he brought everything back to, like he wasn't that much different from Rubio in the last debate with that one coined
Okay.
phrase because he just kept
Saying
saying the
it
same
over and
thing
over.
over and over
Right,
too,
right.
Right.
and he did keep saying, "And I agree with you, and I agree with you."
Right.
And then it got a little dirty at the end, but still pretty
But
civilized.
the hard part with that is that when Hillary comes back, first of all, and this is an opinion only, but she comes off, because I think we all would, as smug. Because she's sitting there like, oh,
No. See, that's
hold on.
that's
how it's being
inherent.
presented.
That's institutionalized
No,
sexism
no, no.
happening right there.
Time
That's
the fuck
exactly
out.
what that is.
My point is that that's what's being presented. That's how people are taking it. Not that that's how I'm like. She's just like, enough. We would all do it. Like, oh, for Christ's sake, you keep saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's how it's being taken. That's what you're seeing within social media. That's what people are looking at and going, oh, see, she's just getting, she just gets all fired up and now she's just angry. She's
Yeah.
an angry, rather than, no, she's making brilliant points.
Yes.
She's saying exactly
But she just
what
has to
needs
keep
be
making the
said.
same brilliant points over and over again because
Right.
we've debated this topic almost to death between these
Exactly.
two people. It's
Yeah.
oh my god.
And that's the hard part, because when that happens, because you really at some point just want to go, fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what do you need?
Well,
What
and
more you-
I feel like we've illustrated like the ideological differences.
Right.
I feel like we've answered the questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've read a bazillion articles about how Bernie's going to pay for his shit, and I'm no economist. I don't know. It seems legit. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
But how are you going to
Who
pass
knows?
it with an
But how are you gonna
obstructionist
pass it, right?
Congress? Like, how are you going to pass that?
Right. Right.
Like, you have no interest in like working. I don't know. I'm not. I
don't know.
like him. I've always enjoyed him. I'm not sold that he's selling something that's sellable. So that's that.
in a utopian Star Trek
Yes.
society,
Yes.
Bernie's my guy.
Right.
In
Well,
the
and
real
he
world
does
that we
get
live
you
in, I don't think so.
He does get people.
Oh,
that, I mean,
student
I
loans.
listen to him and
You
I'm
just
like,
say student loans, and like
And
seriously,
congratulations.
loan sharks and the
Yeah.
mafia have
Yeah.
better interest rates.
What else you got in your segment?
Are you tired of this? All right.
Well, I figure you've got like 3 or 4 other things to
don't
go
fucking
through, and I
know.
don't want to
Make
beat
it-
the same dead horse that they're beating.
We like our dead horses. Listen.
Listen!
All right.
Kuma.
All right.
that it?
How about
Come on, I forgot to write it down.
How about Apple, the maker of your fine iPhones, has been ordered to aid the FBI in unlocking the California shooter's phone. I know, an interesting little juxtaposition of
Yeah, wow.
Did you just read that?
Did you make
just
change
read
No, I
that?
really just pulled that.
Wow! Congratulations, Cat
Stunned
Carlson.
myself with
Your ginkgo
vocabulary.
biloba is working.
But no, it's an interesting crossroads of ethics and privacy and technology. So here it is, juxtaposition. It's
Very
a
nice.
crossroads.
Great. Congratulations.
I used it correctly.
Congratulations.
A U.S. judge on Tuesday ordered Apple Incorporated to help the FBI break into a phone recovered from one of the San Bernardino shooters. An order that heightens a long-running dispute between tech companies and law enforcement over the limits of encryption. Apple must provide, quote, reasonable technical assistance to investigators seeking to unlock data on an iPhone 5C.
Ooh, you had an old phone too.
I don't know.
Older version. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm
Vanna
surprised.
will
But
illustrate
I think this is it, right?
Yeah, it's just slightly smaller than mine. Got it.
that had been owned.
Or C,
one
the
of the
plastic cheapy one. I think I have a 5S. I think that was the
I
plastic
think C
colorful.
was the cheapo one. Yeah.
Yeah, that came out in the multiple colors.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
That assistance includes disabling the phone's auto erase function, which activates after 10 consecutive unsuccessful passcode attempts, and assisting investigators to submit passcode guesses electronically. Apple did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The company has 5 business days to contest the order if it believes compliance would, quote, unreasonably burdensome.
Well, that puts them in an ugly position.
Yeah. Like, do
So
we
what's
we
the-
help catch the bad guy, or do we protect the data and the
Yeah, and so
privacy
what
and
now?
the
What do you
encryption?
trust
And how
Apple?
many people are going to think we're going to just...
Yeah, and what do we trust Apple with? If you have all these conspiracy theorists saying like, "Oh, don't put it in your phone,"
Well,
somebody's
Right,
gonna-
right.
the
Why don't
government's
they
going to
just-
ask for it.
Then just lie and say, "Look, we found it on a piece of paper in the fucking apartment." Just don't say
Right,
that Apple
we've
had
all
anything
seen
to do with
SVU
it.
enough times.
Right.
Yeah,
They
but
found
then
it.
all of a sudden we know what the problem is with people. the
Liv
wrong
is going to
people.
get to the bottom of
Right,
this.
and that's how we get to the social injustice that
Yeah.
Bernie's talking about of like the wrong people are in jail, the people that you can plant the piece of paper
Right.
because they don't
Right.
have the good enough lawyer, they don't have the money to hire the lawyer to say fuck that, you know, the people that have to take plea bargains, we have this hanging over your head, you can risk life imprisonment or take the plea bargain and say 5 years in jail and never vote again. Got that back to voting rights. And all of a sudden you're
well,
disenfranchised, and that's how they do
And,
it.
and this is
That
this
is how
the
our
cycle,
court system now
absolutely.
works. Is they get some piece of evidence. They're like, you don't have the money for a good lawyer. A public defender's not going to get you off of this. We have this piece of circumstantial evidence.
Right.
Take the plea deal, lose your right to vote, go to jail for 5 years, or risk the trial and go to jail for life. Like that's why most things don't go to. That's
Again,
why most
SVU,
things go.
they're
yeah.
always in for the plea.
Yeah, and the plea is one of the biggest crimes now going on in like the American justice system because you're holding people that can't afford good counsel into pleas, and they end up in jail losing their right to vote over something that they didn't do. So then people are like, well, they confessed to it. Well, of course they confessed
Because
to it.
you beat them to it.
Yeah,
You beat them to
you
make.
blackmailed them into a corner and told them that they couldn't win this way, and you know, what I
Right.
mean?
You
Like,
can't get out this way. You can't get out that way, and they're scared and uninformed, and
and they take the plea because 5 years I can get back to my kids and maybe have a family again.
right.
but-
Absolutely, I can still see my kid graduate, and I can.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
I can
just
do anything
horrible
for
like
5
that. But
years.
that's exactly that kind of stuff. Oh, just fake it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Frame them.
on.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, they're not framing them. He's dead. Like these people are dead. It's not like you're not going to get it from them. You're not going to beat it out of them. But I think it's a difference if these people kill people, and I think it's a
Well, but
different situation
it's
with
tip
that
of
one.
the iceberg because now these people are dead, and so we're going to break into their stuff. Okay, and
But they're dead-
we're gonna make the creator of your phone do it. We're gonna make the very people that sold you this
And I
phone do
get
it.
all that,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying it's just like, I'm not saying Scalia died and he died of natural causes. We break into his phone. I'm not saying that, or Marge who just passed away. But these people are they did
right,
a crime.
but all they have to do now is say that you
Committed a crime.
committed a
Right,
crime, so we're
right.
going to break into your phone,
But-
whether you did or you didn't. Like that's what Apple has to face now.
Right.
Is now Apple's going to be part of like the big bureaucracy, big government that Clive Bundy's always. So
Mm-hmm.
Apple's going to go on that list of like people that they don't want anything to do with because they're in cahoots with the government, and they're going to sell all your information about how you are
Absolutely.
grazing your cattle.
And honestly, I think we're probably already too far gone. Like if somebody
Oh,
wanted,
yeah.
if somebody wanted something on you, you know what I mean? Like say you're the
I love when
Say-
she goes the.
No. Say for whatever reason you're, all of a sudden we're on the verge of the dystopian society, right? We're on the verge of Hunger Games, or we're on the verge of, whatever your Walking
Dystopia.
Dead dystopia.
Yeah.
Right, we're on the verge of this dystopian society, and now you, Clayton McKee, are all of a sudden the target of the government to be made an example of. You know what I mean? We've got all this precedent, all of these things. Now we're building all of this big army. We're building. Apple's behind us. We've got NSA's already listening to us. Like, you know what I mean? The FBI standing outside this window right here. Like, it's tip of the iceberg, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's the one part of the debate, the Republican debates that are kind of interesting is when they go after that Cruz Rubio, when they have their fight about, what is Snowden? Is he a traitor? Is he a national hero? Is he telling you what the government's doing, or is he betraying secrets?
And that's a fine line.
And it's a fine line with what Snowden has done. Like, do you think he's a traitor because he betrayed the secrets, or do you want to know that the government's watching you? Like,
we all know the government's watching. We already know that.
Right, but to have proof and
but we operate under the false assumption that if we've done nothing wrong, we have nothing to hide.
Now, is it better? Let's say that
and nothing is safe, as I learned from the virus I got today. Not
is it better if they give the phone?
Sure.
If they gave the phone to a hacker and the hacker figures it out, is it better?
That is better.
Yes. Yeah, because
then Apple's not. Then you don't have Apple their hands stay clean.
Right.
That's the way to go.
Because you've got.
And then you go into the jail and you get somebody that you arrested for hacking, which is what they usually do for those
kind of crimes.
Because those smart mother.
Right, catch them if you can. You get the counterfeiter to tell you who the other counterfeiters are, not by betraying them, but showing them the money. And
or you hire them as your anti-hacking expert because they know all the tricks of the trade. Sure.
And they get their right to vote back.
Yeah, because all you're doing with Apple right now is incorporating Big Brother. Like now Big Brother's a corporation.
So good point. The hacker's the way to go. Apple keeps its hands clean. They're not the dirty. They're not the part of the. What was it? Aaron, if you're in the chat room, you'll know the company from Terminator.
Oh, I don't know.
Syngen or whatever it's called. I'm mixing up. I'm mixing up Jurassic Park with.
Mixing your metaphors.
Yeah, I'm mixing my movies. How funny. Let's do crime scene footage.
All right, let's do crime scene.
Let's do a little dance break, and I'll get my character ready.
Okay, I wasn't no, I can't do that either. Oh, I hate it when he fucks up my whole. I have everything stacked and ready to go, and he changes it, and it fucks me all up because I'm not ready for that. Let's do where? Wait. Where did it go? Oh, let's do this one, and we'll do it right now. Here we go. Play it now.
If you think it sucked so far, just wait till after this 30-second dance break.
Well, the squirrels are back in the attic. Your dad won't call an exterminator. He says it's personal this time. Where are you? It's very loud there. Are you taking a Zumba class?
Always taking a Zumba class, of course we are. Waiting for Al Perkins to come back. This segment that we're about to do is something we have not done in well over a year, maybe a year and a half is how long it's been since we've done this.
Skynet.
Their scripts are in hands. This is the segment we like to call Crime Scene Footage. And now we take you directly to Studio C Theater, where we reenact the best of crime scene footage, direct from Crime Scene Footage. And now, our story for the day.
Ring, ring. Madison County 911.
Hi, we're the two dumbasses that got caught trying to bring some stuff through your border, and all your cops are just driving around as like a bunch of jackwagons. And I'd like you, the guys, to end it. If you could help me out we'd just like to get on with it.
You got caught doing what?
Oh, God, okay. We got kind of spooked here trying to bring some stuff across your Idaho border.
Okay.
And yeah, a bunch of your cops driving around in a bunch of civilian cars just not wanting to pick us up. I don't know what the deal is. I was wondering if you could help us out and just end it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could just call one of them. I don't know. It's getting cold out here, man. I just want to get warm and just get on with this whole thing, so...
Okay, where are you at right now?
Oh, University Boulevard, right next to the gas station and Applebee's. all your buddies are around us. If you could help us out, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. Is it just you?
It's me and my buddy that I brought with me, and then we have a dog that we were gonna bring back to its owner, but
Okay.
she's a really nice dog. She's not mean. She's a puppy.
Okay, cool.
She's really cold in the car. She could just use some food too.
Okay. Hey, yeah. What was your name, man?
It's Leland.
Leland. Okay. All right. Hold on, just 1 second. Stay on the phone with me.
All right, thank you. He's a nice guy. Hey, you want me to jump in the air, click my heels twice, or what?
Do you guys have any guns or weapons or anything on you at all?
No, we just have all that stuff with us. Just a bunch of snacks and stuff.
All right. Just want to make sure. They're just curious.
Yeah. We tried walking away from the car a couple times, and that didn't work. We tried waving them down, and that didn't work. So I just don't know what's going on here.
Okay. I do have one of my marked units. He's on his way over there. So he's on his way to meet you.
All right. Does he have snacks? Because we're hungry.
Thank you for listening to Studio C reenacts crime scene footage. Join us next time for crime scene footage.
I thought somewhere in there he tells her he has like a ton of pot.
So too.
I swore when I read it,
Did we miss some pages of the script?
I feel like we did, because I thought at some point he tells her that the car is loaded with pot.
I think at the beginning he says that it brought some stuff across your Idaho border. And I thought it was a euphemism. At first I was like,
yeah,
oh.
It's my Idaho border. Don't mess with it.
I don't think it's there because I transcribed the whole thing from the video.
That's good.
That really checked me up.
We should do more of that.
Heavens. Well, it's difficult to find those good 911 calls that are good like that.
They really are.
It's true.
Why not
But when I
criminals?
watched that YouTube, it had like 8 or 9 after. Oh, you know what? Because that was linked to so many pot-related 911 calls.
Oh.
That I just mixed them all
There's
into
kind
one.
of
Could be.
There were, I think it was like
But
9 minutes of pot
the
calls.
best part of it is he's just so fucking paranoid from being so stoned. I like, what do you got? No, we just got snacks.
Bong for
I've been
brains.
there, man.
I like it.
I've been
Dog's
there.
really friendly. It's a pit bull.
You said he's a bull pit.
I was high.
I know, I'm just telling you.
We're
It's very
bringing a
funny.
dog back to somebody. Who does
He's
that?
really nice.
Because sometimes you
Yeah,
borrow a
we were
dog.
going to bring the dog back, but
We don't know where that is. We
I think
aren't really
he's a
sure.
dog. I don't know.
Sometimes you borrow a dog.
My heavens.
It's
I
okay.
found.
Kuma!
I think this is what. Where the hell? I need my cursor over here. So many things going on.
Dog for brains has got to go get more water.
She just took her headphones off. I'm getting ready to toss to him, and I can't do
all
it.
right. Well, okay.
Goodness gracious, what are we tossing?
Well, this is the. I don't.
Brenda,
This is the song.
Oh.
well, if a girl answers, don't hang up, just talk about her.
I think Prince plays the. Prince is the girl calling.
There's no video to it. I just found.
No,
the-
there wasn't. That I knew.
Oh, he talks.
Yeah, he's the. Because if the girl answers, don't hang up, just talk about it. They're going to talk shit to each other for like 3 solid minutes.
Is Jimmy home? Yes, but he's taking a shower.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Did he just take out the trash?
No, that's something he used to do. Now he's taking out me.
You did not just do that.
I have never
Well
heard
done.
that before.
It is one of the best.
What's the matter?
That's
Going
crime scene
swimming.
footage
Work.
right there. I like it.
So did that last night. Meaning her pussy's huge.
I know. Why don't you bring
Is that where Little Red Corvette comes from?
Singles, boss. Singles? Is that what you think? Bitch, I'm dating your dad.
Oh,
You back, Nate. That's just too bad.
Dramatic reenactments of the 80s by Missy L. Perkins.
Tall,
Right.
stiff, and ready.
Oh.
The more that I can
Oh,
say
for
to
Christ's
dear
sakes.
Jimmy. Oh my God, it's such a funny song.
my
That's
God.
Is that what
fantastic.
you think, Tramp? I'm dating your dad.
That reminds me of that song, Wasn't Me.
Yeah.
Wasn't Me.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't Me.
That's like
it. Put
1981,
those two together.
82
No?
somewhere.
Okay.
Put those two songs together. That's fantastic.
Wow.
I used to
enjoyed
listen to that
very
song over and over again. My poor parents. Just think about the terrors that came upstairs from that basement.
Seriously.
Me pretending to be a black man and a black woman at the same time fighting over a man.
Who sounds like a woman.
Yeah.
And I don't mean you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tap out dating your dad.
hello.
Did you at one point think you were part of the group Midnight Star?
I was part of every group. At some point, I figured I was the honest to God lost member of every band.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
You just take out the trash. No, that's something he used to do. Now he's taking out me.
me. Oh my God.
That's good.
That
I
is
like
good
it.
stuff.
I appreciate you, Al.
Just enjoy that on the YouTubes and picture my poor family sitting up there watching Mike Douglas just trying to work it all out mathematically.
What was that? Oh, that's just little Alf.
That's just Alfie.
This is Alfie.
Having a mild schizophrenic transracial moment.
Honey, don't let the neighbors in. That's little Alfie's at it again.
All I could think is they must have thought, could we put on the headphones and you just listen to the music? Because that'd be easier on all of us. If we go into the silent room while you just express all of that to get
We
one.
go quietly into the night.
Oh,
Oh, your
because
poor parents.
all I can hear is Al going. That's right.
Come on and wind me up.
I just envision this to be part of your world.
Come on.
Well, because they turned into Climax. That group turned into Climax with Meeting in the Ladies' Room. It's the same. It's all the
Oh, I
same
didn't
people.
realize that.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Oh, yeah, totally can.
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
can't believe I left my condo to come to this.
And then of course
This keeps up. I'm going to turn into a
give you a
BW, a
ticket.
basic woman.
Meow Cow says on all of Al's albums, he's sharpied in featuring Missy Al.
this is on. I always love this song. I don't know. Of course, they're all
I'm gonna give you a ticket.
no. It's not. This isn't Parking on the Dance Floor.
No, I know.
Though it
It's not
sounds
like
almost
that.
the
They all
same.
sound
It really
exactly
the
the
same.
same.
The same
I
Casio
thought that's
keyboard
what it
played
was,
all
yeah.
of these.
In this Meeting in the Ladies' Room?
No. This is an emergency
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
operator.
I really did think this was
From the
Parking on
album
the Dance
titled Planetary Invasion.
And what's the name of the song?
Operator.
Oh,
They're all the same.
Like what sounds like Herbie Hancock in the beginning
Yeah.
doing his little thing.
but I just love the vocoder. I just love Meeting in the Ladies' Room.
I don't know that I have
And
that
the men
one.
all pause when I walk into
Parking
the
on the
room.
Dance. No.
The men
all pause.
when out into the room. Oh God,
I-
that was back in my days being underage, dancing on the dance floor.
I just love that music.
Being a black
Makes me
man
laugh.
or a black woman.
Yeah,
We're not
it
sure
was
which
mostly
one.
black women. But I
Oh,
had a
there it
Meeting in the
is.
Ladies' Room. I'll be back real soon.
I'll be back real soon.
I like it.
This is your meeting in the ladies' room. Sounds exactly the same.
It
right?
does.
Until you jump ahead and then you get. I can just see Al downstairs in his basement with shag carpeting.
And they say they're playing our favorite song. The men are past. Like they even sing the other song in the song. Yeah.
In the ladies' room.
God, our copyright infringements are going to go through the roof this week.
I feel like this should be a new segment. Big gay playlist.
Our copyright
And
infringement
we heard
segment.
from the Pip.
Yeah. But you
Copyright City.
you just got to have that song in your collection because that's just good dancing fun.
I do have them in my
And
collection.
the men all pause. That's the other one.
The men. all-
Not very clever play on words.
No, you're correct.
I mean,
It's
not everybody's that clever.
Yeah. we
Not
can't.
everyone's
We
that
can't
clever.
all be what's his face, the Irish guy that drinks.
You had to go pee or do something. You want to go do that because
go
we have
get
about
water, but the wine's working.
We have about 30 more minutes. We have to
Wine's
fill here.
good.
Is there a
are
bowl?
we gonna put a camera on me?
Is there- well, I could go to the live to the
probably
camera.
could.
Watch me go to the well.
What you go? Well, what's going on in the kitchen right now? Well, not much. Look at that
Nothing.
kitchen.
No.
Oh, the kitchen. The
It looks like
cupboards-
it always does. Nobody
Very
in there.
clean.
Nothing going
Oh,
on.
No, nobody's in
something's
there.
out of place.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Nope, right
and you
there.
See the orange thing next to the refrigerator?
Yeah.
That's that box of Girl Scout cookies you gave me last week.
Ooh, good self-restraint.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't say it
Is
wasn't
it
open.
Oh,
Do
I
you
did-
know I've had one box of Girl Scout cookies this year?
I gave
that?
some away last week. I had to.
I'm stunned.
good.
I've only had a
Last
couple
year,
Girl
I
Scout
spent
cookies.
$300 on Girl
Little-
Scout cookies.
not that.
This
Sorry,
year.
wrong picture. I didn't mean to put that up there.
A little
Butt
garden
fucking
gnome.
gnomes.
Girl
I
Scout
did.
cookies.
All right.
My bad. I feel
Not at all.
That's how
Girl
they
Scout
make the
cookies.
cookies.
You're
That's what
saving
they'll
that
tell
picture,
you.
Huh? Yeah,
You
I'm gonna
butt
throw
fuck a
it
gnomes.
in.
gnome till he spits out a
Those are
cookie.
gnomes,
I'm
not
gonna trefoil
elves.
the
Here's your,
fuck out of
here's
you.
your tag along.
Peanut butter flavoring extra.
Sometimes I feel
Trefoil
like
the
this
fuck out
show's
of
just
you.
a
I
little
like
too
it.
long.
And other times, just
All right.
not
Breaking
long enough.
news.
What?
Oh.
Tell us.
President Barack Obama has a message for Donald Trump.
Fuck you.
You're
does?
fired.
Very close.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had to have breaking news segment.
Well, it just broke.
Yeah.
Here we
you
go.
never know.
We're going live to.
This isn't CNN.
We're going live to
where
an
it's
Asian in a
always breaking
bikini.
news.
Yeah. A lesbian being butt fucked by a gnome.
First of all,
Here's a midget stripper. Go ahead.
the message is being president is tougher than being on a reality show, and the American people are too sensible to elect Donald Trump. That's right. Barack Obama says, I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president, said Obama at a news conference in California after a meeting with Southeast Asian leaders. And the reason is that I have a lot of faith in the American people. Being president is a serious job, and it's not hosting a talk show or a reality show.
Oh. That was our breaking news.
President, zero fucks.
Kuma.
Zero
Strikes
fucks to give. Yeah. And they even. It's really not breaking. It happened like 5 hours ago. But
It did not happen.
We
like
were
an hour
on the
ago.
air 5 hours ago.
but I so watched the press conference from there, like before I left.
Matter.
here.
Nobody fucking cares.
Well, CNN just posted it like an hour ago.
Isn't
So
that funny?
the
Like
good part
everything's
is, though-
breaking news with CNN, but that breaking news that broke 5 hours ago.
Well, you know, John Oliver, did you see? Oh, he was so good this week.
I did
and he
see
said
it.
that when he talked about Scalia
Oh,
dying,
that's right.
the shocking part of
That's right.
Scalia dying was CNN actually used their breaking
That's
news
correct.
flash
Yeah.
appropriately.
Appropriately.
And then they
Yeah.
showed all the things that they say were breaking news.
Wolf
that were
Blitzer in a tunnel.
Yeah,
a wolf in a tunnel.
A wolf in a tunnel?
They had him in El
On the bottom.
Chapo's tunnel, and it
Yeah.
said breaking news. Wolf is in the tunnel. Like that. No, it's not breaking, nor is it news.
Right.
It's the Prince of Tides of breaking news.
Yeah.
And
So
it was.
good.
It's neither princes nor tides. Discuss.
Discuss.
Oh my God!
Oh, it's funny.
Craziness. But then Aaron Burnett, who is really starting to annoy me, and I'm starting to get off CNN like one anchor at a time. But Aaron Burnett having these serious interviews with Donald Trump's children, and just softball. She's the Chuck Todd of CNN now. Just these horrible questions with no follow up and no point. So when it came
This is
to
like 2 weeks in a row
argumentative.
you've said this.
so,
Are you
Trump is speaking in South Carolina at a town hall meeting. So he's hearing Obama's comments directly. So he heard what he said, and he put them right into his town hall this afternoon, and said that's kind of an endorsement that the worst president in history says I would make a bad president. Like that's a good endorsement, and everyone's saying like he's kind of playing into, like Obama's kind of playing into the. Let's get Trump the nomination and see how that fucking goes for
fine.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
That Obama's like, I don't have to endorse Hillary or Bernie yet, but I can definitely sling shit at Obama and get
He's
the
getting ready
crazies
to
on his
endorse
team.
Hillary, though. He also said this. I don't know if it was today, but he also said recently that they ask him all the time, like Bernie or Hillary, and he's like, well, I feel like I know Hillary better.
Yeah, that was
he's
today in that
already
same.
starting to kind of.
He did that in that and they spelled Asia funny. I don't know, it was because it was Southeast Asia, like Asia Southeast, but the way that they were spelling Asia at this summit of
AZIA, was it?
because he's in like Rancho Cucamonga or one of those.
Right.
I feel
He's in
like he's in
California.
the
Bless
city
you.
that he's in the city that Workaholics takes place in fictionally. I feel like he's really there, and that's where this conference is going on. So it's just craziness, the things that he's coming up with. But he did that whole like, well, I know her better, and I agree with her on a lot of things, but I agree with him on a lot of things.
Right.
So I think he's
Bernie's
just
a nice
waiting to
guy.
like pick a horse till we've all picked a horse. Like,
Absolutely.
he'll just be on the right side of it, or until it gets a little.
He's
too
doing
close.
the exact same thing we all are. We're like, well, we've picked one, but whoever gets it, that's who I'm voting
That's
for.
who I'm voting
That's
for.
exactly what we're all doing.
So, but I like that he's playing it. But first, I'm gonna dig on Trump so that Trump wins, and you got you have the head clown in the clown car in the nomination. It's just been kind of funny.
I can't even.
And he did his whole like pissed off, I have no more fucks to give, like where he's doing the Bush thing where he's standing sideways at the podium, just kind of talking over his shoulder, like fuck you.
I love Zero Fucks so much.
And he's like, yeah, It's in the Constitution. Guess what? I'm appointing a Supreme Court justice.
It's happening.
It's part of my job.
Happening.
That you guys have been saying I haven't been doing, but you're going to bitch about the fact that I'm going to do what's part of my job. I love how they just.
Oh, I thought he met him personally. I'm like, oh God, he's got a different story. What's he
No. It's just.
I'm 3/4 of the way through a bottle of wine.
That's another thing.
That's
That's another thing that they were talking
Kuma,
about.
You are always.
The other thing that they were talking about that he's found it funny that the entire time, all this time, they're saying that he's not doing anything of his job, and he steps up to do something that is his job, and like, well, don't do that.
Yeah, no, not that.
Exactly.
Do anything but that.
Mm-hmm. You can't.
In other ridiculous news, and I can never ever watch this show without just giggling and thinking of the movie, Best in Show.
Oh yeah, just
it turns out CJ, a German short-haired pointer, wins Best in Show at the Westminster Dog Show. That's right. That's right. A German short-haired pointer.
I am not a German short-haired anything. I'm pointing just to illustrate what the dog may do.
Kennel Dog Show on Tuesday night. That'd be tonight.
Was it a Kuma? That's bitch. Kuma.
No,
Bitch, not cunt.
Yeah, not cunt.
Very different.
Very different.
Oh.
He's the first of his breed to win at Westminster since 2005.
Harrison, I completely disagree.
And
Yeah, I'm like,
third
I just typed
overall.
Harrison is a dirty
Sorry
rotten.
about that.
Harrison has decided to take all the joy out of food lately. Like, I got a lecture about shrimp out of her that it wasn't healthy, and I'm like, shut up. Why are you ruining shrimp?
I call fucking bullshit on that one, Harrison, and I
Wait a
respect you like
fucking
there's no
minute.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's un-American right there.
It's Rancho Mirage, California. is what it is.
Listen, the views and
played,
opinions
man.
expressed by Harrison in the chat room
Do not
not necessarily reflect those of cast members of the show with Clayton McKee.
Only
Thin Mints
concerning
are wonderful, magical, little just.
And even though they're called Lorna Doones 9 months of the year, for 3 months, those shortbread cookies are the
also
shit.
amazing.
They're legit.
Yeah, magical, wonderful little tokens of love and affection. And Harrison,
I told you Brandon would see that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I would like to add to your comment and with regards to
it's a pylon.
The disclaimer in regards to the chat room.
Yeah.
I would also like to say that Clayton McKee often has no fucking idea what's going on in either the chat room or in this room. So I just want you to know
really
that
true.
do not lean on me for any sort of validation.
The opinions expressed on the show do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the show.
And Clayton often does not have an opinion on the show.
Or control.
By the way, Kuma.
No.
Well played.
If you want a
Harrison.
mintier mint, then go eat a
played.
mint,
I
not
love
a
it.
cookie.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, at one
played.
point, the funny story to me is I had to explain this. I explained this to to what's her name, who Laura Lasco, who's interviewing this.
Oh, yeah.
The irony of this show is I wanted to change the name and take my name out of it. And I was like, well, you can't do that. The irony is too good. It's the show with your name on it that you have no control over at all.
She asked me about that.
That's
She
a
said,
true
so
story.
and Clayton runs a tight ship. And I said, no. No. I said my favorite
There's a
was when-
ship?
There's a show.
He was like, what? I said my favorite
They're
was
at
when he
sea.
went and got the lights.
All the
The
ships at
green
sea.
light, the yellow light, the
Oh
red
my
light.
Clayton,
That was my favorite.
next week, can I have an ocean view?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What would
I
you?
want to look out at the ships at sea.
Oh, we should get a ship. at sea.
Oh, we should get the ships at sea. I'll send you the picture I bought behind her. But I do have to say, Annette, because I don't like mint, that I do not eat the Thin Mints. And I don't eat that bullshit with coconut either, because coconut
Samoas?
coconut and cookies do not belong together.
Samoas are
I feel like Samoas have
delicious.
changed. Well, and did you know there are two different bakers?
No.
That's a true story.
There's a butcher, a baker, and a candlestick
Candlestick
maker.
maker.
Sorry.
Easy
No.
there. Easy
No,
there.
no. All right. All right, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
The Girl Scouts of America use two separate bakers to meet the demands of Girl Scout cookie season. Now, if you are eating Samoas and trefoils, and
That's my cookie, the trefoils.
The trefoils.
So
if
good.
you're eating Samoas, trefoils, and tagalongs, you have the good baker.
Okay.
If you're eating caramel delights,
I don't even know what that is.
that's a Samoa.
Oh, I see.
If you're eating caramel delights and shortbread somebody's and peanut butter
Generic
Ju-
Girl Scout
Jujubes.
cookies.
right, bad baker. You know why? Because the Thin Mints are wrong with the other baker.
Holy fuck.
They're
How,
not- they're
how
not-
and
It's
why
a
do you know
conspiracy.
this?
Now, which one was Scalia taking? Because he didn't
Not,
get the.
by the way, honey, not the Thin Mint. That's
yeah.
for sure.
He didn't get the diabetes on accident.
Kuma, not the
He looks like he'll eat any cookie. I don't know.
I'm just saying Scalia looks like he'll eat any cookie.
Right.
In the No Baker, that's what I've decided to call them. The
No Baker.
No
The Yes
Baker.
Baker, the No Baker.
There's the Yes Baker, which makes the delicious chocolate-coated Thin Mint cookies. The No Baker, the Thin Mint is dry. It's just infused with the chocolate and the mint.
Ku fucking ma.
Yeah,
check-
I need to know. I need
check
to
your
know
local
where
bakery.
How did you get this information?
Clayton McKee, I wake up every morning and I spend an hour and a half laying in bed reading
Worrying
the
about
internet.
Girl Scout cookies.
Reading
The internet machine.
Right.
Right, but
Like my grandfather reads the paper front to back.
And
top
she
to
does
bottom.
all the Girl Scout conspiracy theories.
I
A to Z.
not just Girl Scouts. No, there's many things. I read the internet.
okay, and that's okay. I'm not
Starts
saying you
with the
should.
Facebooks, and then it goes to the Twitters, then it goes occasionally the Tumblr. I don't really care. And then, because I feel like I'm too old for Tumblr. I don't really know. Like, I still post to it.
Sometimes,
But you're not too old to worry about conspiracy theories of Girl Scout cookies.
It's not a conspiracy. No, it's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
By the way,
It's not a
Brand,
conspiracy.
this
No, it
is
actually
very
I
important
say we might-
Listen,
information.
Alex Jones.
Right.
Incidentally,
Can we go to the
I don't
office
know.
on 3rd Street and
There's no, you can't.
I think we should
There's
pick it.
real life reasons why I know this. My father owns a trucking company in California, and he was a big part of the distribution of the Girl Scouts.
I
of
knew
America.
there was something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
behind
No,
it.
there's
Somebody's got an
There's
in.
in.
They don't have the contract anymore because they changed things. They changed
Undercover
bakers.
brother.
They changed transportation and distribution.
To hide the conspiracy.
They're taking the generic South
So the No Baker.
and the not
No, I
generic.
don't, you know what?
Oh fuck!
There
This is getting.
wasn't even a map in this
Come on.
article. I'm gonna find
Oh,
it.
there's a map.
There's a map. We love maps.
Hang on.
Put it up behind Kat.
Put it up.
Put it up
Kat
behind
Carlson,
Kat
we're gonna go-
Carlson, there's a map.
Look.
behind you.
Point to
Where
the
was
stage
it?
of the dirty cookies.
Where's
Stand
the
by.
bad baker? This is breaking. This
Was
is
it? I bet it was
This
in-
is why we do this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Further South Dakota.
Because Anant, I don't want you to have your dreams realized about tasting your first Girl Scout cookie and find out it's the No Bakery.
Oh, no,
And that's not a metaphor.
Yeah. Because that really sounded rife with metaphor. Now that-
Also, it is not just curry, but curry is delicious.
So the
I know,
two-
and I feel like I don't get it enough.
Oh my
the
god, I
two
love
bakers
curry.
are.
Oh my
as
God, there's a
follows.
website.
No, there's a whole fucking.
Holy shit!
So good.
You,
I didn't realize
You think
this-
I make this shit up?
I-
No,
well,
this is
I just
actual
figured-
No,
information
not making
from
it
the
up.
internet.
This is from the interwebs.
We don't get an autopsy for Scalia, but they'll autopsy a fucking Thin Mint and figure where it's from.
The
Thin
priorities.
Well, they should.
Okay, so
Okay.
the baker that you want is the Little Brownie Bakers.
Sounds dirty.
Could somebody write that down?
Well,
Will
Will it help you if I write it down over here? Don't you need the newspaper later?
No,
The map
that
is
on the
already
one that stays
Right.
in here.
okay. Hang on. I got to get you out of this.
I'll
map.
never use a napkin.
No, I can use this map.
Well, I think I know what. I need another picture.
All right,
Go ahead. What?
go ahead.
Off.
Well, you,
no,
you
you
tell me
go.
when the map is up because
No,
I could go.
Okay, you go.
Because here's what happens.
All right, go. Oh no, you talk. I'm gonna find something else.
They're regionally distributed. So if you live in, for example, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and parts of California, even parts of Los Angeles County,
Yeah.
California, you're receiving cookies from Little Brownie Bakers,
Which is what we want.
which is what we want.
Yeah.
However, if you lived in
Uh-oh.
South Dakota, further
Yeah.
South Dakota, Nebraska,
What about Minnesota?
Minnesota, Wisconsin,
It's
except for
been
a few select
fake.
counties, about half of Illinois, most of I
Meow Cow,
believe
you
that
have
to be
fake
North
cookies.
Carolina,
Or further
right.
North Carolina?
Further
No,
North
regular
Carolina.
North Carolina,
Sometimes known
Oh,
as
I
West
see.
Virginia.
Orlando, New Orleans. Now you're in ABC Bakers. Now the difference is, like I was describing earlier, for example, the Thin Mints from ABC Bakers, they're crunchier with more mint than chocolate.
Oh my God.
Little
I have-
Brownie Bakers, Thin Mints are richer, smoother. They have the chocolate coating and a distinct peppermint taste.
Look
Now
at-
your Caramel Delights from ABC Baker.
Look at that.
Now that's good.
Oh,
I like it. Can that go
Breaking
behind Cat?
news.
I can get that.
Oh, so Arizona's the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get the
Meow
good
Cow,
ones.
this is bad news. Meow Cow. Yeah, bad news.
Bad news. Bad news.
This is some of the worst.
Pretty girl.
Put your face.
Sorry.
Put your face in the
Breaking
pillow. Put your face in the pillow.
Come on.
Scalia.
Your beloved
I'm gonna Scalia
Samoas.
the fuck out of that.
Right. Your beloved Samoas might not be so beloved if we received ABC Baker cookies because the Caramel Delights.
Yes.
have-
Delights.
The Delights.
The D is lowercase.
Oh,
Do you have
I
a
see.
meeting in the ladies' room later?
Delights.
Maybe. The Caramel Delights have more cookie than caramel, but they have a milkier chocolate, and the cookie has a vanilla flavor. The Samoas, on the other hand, have a heavier caramel layer,
Oh, yes, they do.
darker chocolate
Yes.
coating, and more coconuts.
So
if you describe sex to me in those first two phrases, say it again.
Sex via the Girl Scout cookie is really a problem, actually.
Heavier caramel layer.
See, I'm in.
Darker
right.
chocolate coating.
We're there.
There it is. Right
that's
behind
how
you, Cat.
That's it now.
There you go.
Right.
That is how I would like all my sex described.
Your tagalongs.
By Cat?
Tagalongs.
I don't care
from
about who it is.
Little Brownie Bakers.
You're providing a heavy dose of caramel. Sure.
Sure. Okay.
God.
Yeah.
Tagalongs have more peanut butter than their clearly inferior counterpart, the peanut butter patties.
Now, which ones? Now, the tagalongs, the chocolate covered,
chocolate covered peanut butter. Yes.
Okay, those are okay. But Reese's cups are better. Let's just say it. We can get that shit all year round.
Well, they are.
It's that
But
peanut butter cookie
tagalongs,
bullshit that are just
dough.
the dosey fucking dough.
Those are real good.
Right.
Kuma.
The dosey dough are described
Yeah,
as
yeah.
crunchy and buttery with a strong peanut butter taste.
It
How
is.
do I know? How does Meow Cal know?
Look on the map.
No, but he's right on the border.
Oh, well, find a Girl Scout and look on the box. It says on the box. It says on the box.
Find the Girl Scout. Turn her over. Where's she
There
made?
you go. Hey, by the way, Meow Cal,
That
don't
is
ask
so
her to
frowned
bend
upon
over.
now, you have no idea.
Do not bend over a Girl Scout. Whatever you do, you did not hear that here.
Nope.
Please don't.
The thoughts and opinions of Clayton McKee do not reflect the thoughts and opinions.
Keep the Girl Scout
Yeah.
cookie upright. I mean, the Girl
Pinot
Scout
Noir
upright.
cookie jar. I love that we took it back to.
Yes, Kimmy Schmidt. Your trefoils are much more buttery than their shortbread counterparts.
That's a nice thing.
And
to
I'm
hear.
in the sweet spot of the map up there, so I'm here to tell you that things are going my way because those shortbread and they're just Lorna Doones. Let's just call it a spade a spade. But I have to tell
cookies
you,
are shortbread
I
cookies.
can make it past the cookie aisle every single time I'm in a grocery store, but I cannot walk by a Girl Scout. And I just have to have a gallon of milk and maybe a little hooch, and I am
Yeah.
happy as Larry.
And I'm eating 12 boxes of Thin Mints tonight, like that.
And it's just-
How
it's-
did an aunt ruin Girl Scout cookie Samoas for me? Am I reading that? What's happening? Because I want to vomit a little bit.
No, an aunt.
An aunt? No, honey.
feel like-
we're gonna.
Oh
have to,
no! He's talking about samosas. Anant and Harrison are talking about Indian
Oh
food.
God in heaven! I thought it
Thank
was
God
just
they
a
were
typo.
putting some. Yeah.
Oh, I almost threw up a little bit.
Yeah, so if you're concerned
sorry.
in your
Oh,
region
my bad.
about which Girl Scout cookies you're getting, go buy a box of Girl Scout cookies. You can tell either by the name or you can read on the box.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and look. We'll go to the kitchen.
I can't believe that made a segment.
I love
Oh
that.
my God! It's a very important segment.
There is some important.
You know,
news.
love is in the air, and Girl Scout cookies are somewhere nearby. So
That's
I'm
a
probably
true
gonna pick Girl
story.
Scout cookies
Yeah,
over love.
yeah, absolutely.
But it
Or
is
immediately after
And now
love.
I'm very upset that I don't have any Thin Mints, and it's probably
Aaron,
too late to get
I'm
any.
completely with Aaron on that about the parents being
Yeah.
and
Well, no,
my
not
Aaron,
too late in the year, just too late.
feels
today.
the same way. Like if you're a Girl Scout, you need to go about coming and asking.
Oh, the Girl Scouts
The
should
Girl
sell
Scout
them.
themselves needs to come and ask. But I agree with Aaron. Like those parents come out of nowhere.
But I have to say that I had
because-
set up. I'm just interrupt you for a second.
No, please.
Shocking.
May I just? I had set up
What
an
if I said
appointment.
no?
I had set up an appointment with a Girl Scout that I found online. That sounds wrong.
Wow.
To buy her cookies.
It's getting worse.
Hopefully, as I'm digging, I'll find Nat King Cole.
Incidentally, the same thing happened to Alexander Hamilton.
Strangely enough. But
I listened to you have to listen to the
our
soundtrack. It's so
schedules,
good.
our schedules didn't work out, and luckily,
Well, luckily,
because of Dateline,
Yeah.
we both couldn't be on Dateline at the same time.
Chris Hansen just
She
called.
was making
Wait,
Kool-Aid.
Wait, this just in.
This just did.
Oh God.
So it was a coworker who was just very non-aggressive. Was just like, I got a trunk full of Girl Scout cookies. All you do is sign on the line, get me the money, and we did it like a drug swap. Like it really
I
was
have to tell you, I
right
don't
out of
have
Miami
any
Vice.
problem with that parent.
Yeah,
Not that parent.
but they weren't pushing or anything.
You
but
try to walk into a store and they're like, oh, and you're like, kid, bring the kid forward.
I can tell you. I can tell you why.
Please.
Okay.
Help.
So
Help.
I know a lot about Girl
You
Scout
know an
cookies.
odd amount about Girl Scouts.
This is a topic
I love a post-flu interview when she's had a lot of time with the
Right.
interwebs.
Yeah.
near and dear to my heart. I know I couldn't come up with anything for a segment, but talk to me about Girl Scout cookies. I got 30
We
minutes
found
for
a
it.
hot point for this show.
Yeah.
Food, cookies, and food.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hungry.
Good call.
Okay, so Girl Scouts periodically change kind of how they push their cookies.
Right. Ask Al.
Yeah.
Sure. No, but for years and years they were against like door-to-door sales and in front of the.
And then it got dangerous
because of the
door-to-door
kidnappings.
sales.
Yeah, because of the missing Girl Scouts.
And they might go to Al's
They were
house.
against camping out in front of the grocery stores. They were against all that, so it was all order based.
Right.
So you only received what cookies you got paid orders for.
Okay.
Okay. They've changed that, and now as a Girl Scout troop, I believe, you estimate how many cookies you think you can sell ahead of time, and you order those. And then once you've sold out of those, then you can order more if you're doing a hot business. But
otherwise you have to pay for whatever
you have to pay for, and you have to sell what cookies
Okay.
you've estimated.
Got it.
So now there's like that pressure because you're like, well, I don't know, especially if you haven't done it. This becomes.
Oh my God, I love Meow Cow.
Meow Cow.
That's
Very
fucking hysterical.
Meow Cow says, after hearing this story, my life just got so much more stressful now.
Hashtag
Thanks, Obama.
Right. So now it's especially
Well
like prominent.
done.
You
You
can
win
really
the
see
internet.
the panic in like a new Girl Scout
Sure.
mom's eyes.
Sure.
Because now she's looking in her.
We gotta
in her
unload this
garage.
shit.
Right,
Yeah.
she's looking in
Yeah.
her garage, especially in Phoenix, Arizona. Like all of a sudden, it's 90 degrees out,
And you got
I've got
melted Thin
$400
Mints.
fucking dollars worth of Thin Mints sitting in my
Right.
garage.
But if they're not
Oh
by
my
the
goodness.
little brownie boys,
Then
then
it's
there's not a lot of
$400.
chocolate.
Just flush those
Well,
fuckers.
Not a lot of chocolate. Nobody cares.
the problem is you don't know what you're getting.
Oh, yeah, but if I read the side of the box, I
Well,
would.
right, and the problem is you don't have a
From
choice.
what I heard.
That's
Right, but when
that's the
they
actual problem. I was
you
making shit
order,
up
they
before.
ship you what they ship you. You
Sure.
don't have a. I get what you're
You
saying.
don't have a choice.
Right.
It's completely regional.
Right.
As it turns out,
should be able
if you
to
live in
check
Orange County, you are stuck with ABC Bakers. But if you live in Los Angeles County, you get little brownie bakers.
And we get little
It's
brownie
that
makers.
finite. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
going to go over
refer
to
to the
the
map.
other area.
We refer to them.
Please refer to the map.
I know. I saw.
That's right.
Wait, we can go back. For those of you who weren't paying attention, here's the map. There's the map.
For those that weren't paying attention.
Right.
Yes.
You need to be in a purple state for little brownie
I
bakers.
appreciated what.
Yeah.
Tandoori chicken is so good. I appreciate what Brand said. It looks like the HRC map.
Oh, sure, kind of.
I appreciated that.
If there's a
That was-
direct correlation
Yeah.
between gay rights and brownie cookies,
Also-
Little brownie
Oh,
bakers.
wouldn't that
Yeah.
be shocking?
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
But
Yep.
oh wait, no, it's evenly distributed. Like the red and the blue states are because further South Dakota's on there and eastern South Dakota's on there,
I like
western
that
South
they made
Dakota's
it a
on
Viking map. That makes me happy.
there.
Oh,
It is
Christ.
I'm
Viking
just
colored.
I'm just
All
saying,
right.
it makes me happy.
Next caller.
Had it been green and yellow, I'd been like, fuck it.
Oh, and then because we're doing samosas and we're doing Samoas.
Right.
There's two
funny.
different
No, they're
conversations going on.
totally different.
Samosas are the Indian food that I recently found, and I've done them the vegetarian way and the with the chicken in it way.
the non-vegetarian. For those
the
that bake
meat way, and they're both delicious. Like I was thoroughly enjoyed it.
Very
I
nice.
cannot do, and I don't know. Let's get on this topic for just a
Okay.
second.
Emma.
Yogurt used to be a perfectly legitimate food, and then that new Oinko shit came out, and they added the
Oikos.
stink to it. That now Greek yogurt has to smell like a rotting vagina.
I've never enjoyed
Oh,
Greek yogurt. I
all
will
right.
take just plain old American pasteurized Yoplait yogurt.
Oh, that'll take
Strawberry
that off
flavored,
the
preferably,
list.
every day.
Yeah, but that's that Greek
Like
stuff that
Greek
became
bullshit.
popular. It just now, and I had no problem with yogurt either way until and now people will like in the morning when we trade off shifts, they'll be eating that stinky pig yogurt, and I'm like, no.
Pig yogurt equals.
I'll phone it. You go sit at another place and just call me because
Yeah.
I cannot smell that shit. It smells like rotted milk.
And that's what it
And
is.
it-
That's what yogurt is.
Wait, that's fine, but hide
Right.
the smell. Like,
sure.
give it some gum.
No, yeah, well, and I can't get on.
Bits.
I can't get on board with the Greek yogurts.
I don't mind the
trend.
Greek yogurt.
I don't enjoy it.
And
There's a
I
I
taste
don't like
thing,
plain
there's a smell thing.
yogurt at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, mine would.
But that Greek stuff,
have
that
strawberries in it.
Oinkos, it smells
Oh, I
like
don't- I
a
don't eat
poorly
that,
kept
yeah.
woman. That is not right.
Oh.
There's no
we're gonna
reason
take
for that
that off
smell.
the grocery list.
Yogurt's been around for centuries without that smell. I think
I've never had it.
I've only been
so
alive for a few
therefore-
years. I've
And
been
I
alive
think this is one of those things
forever.
that I'm not going to like go and test. I'm not going to be like, I think I'll buy that.
Oh, that's
Oikos.
you're not going to go smell a poorly kept woman and see if it smells like yogurt.
I feel like we've all done
I'm
that.
not. I was gonna say, I'm like, no. What I
I
mean
feel
is,
like we've
I'm not
already
gonna
been
get the
there.
Oikos to compare. Is what I'm saying. So.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. That Oinkos yogurt, they sell it in the cafeteria, and people come up to me. I'm like, you can't. It's like chewing gum in front of me. You can't do it. That smell is just
seriously. Demi Lovato.
Yeah, somebody's got a little spank bank. All right, are we ready for bullshit? Let's just do bullshit and get out of this. Because I think my bullshit was that yogurt. Because that smell is unforgivable in every way, and that's how it'll stay.
Oh, do you not have a thoughtful question? I have a thoughtful question.
All right.
Or do you want to do bullshit?
Let's do thoughtful.
Bullshit. No.
Oh,
we'll do bullshit first.
Quick, fast round of bullshit.
In an effort to control this show, we will do bullshit now, and then we will do a thoughtful vulgarity segment, and then we will get out of this.
All right, fair.
I would like to say Al has done his bullshit. Let's go to the next person who would like to call bullshit. Marnie or Kat?
Marnie Ryer.
All right. I'm going to call bullshit on West Virginia Republicans pushing for a law making any crime committed for Jesus legal.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. I hadn't heard of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that a couple days ago.
West Virginia Republicans are trying to squeeze a new law through the state legislature that would literally eliminate laws if you can prove Jesus made you do it.
Oh my God.
That's right. If they get their way, you'll be able to cook meth, rob people, rape, pillage, and murder if you show that your religious beliefs, or more specifically, your Christian beliefs, not only allow it, but require it. Imagine the chaos in the courtroom of the deliverance state. Yes, I'm
so does that mean we can start? Wait, does that mean we can start stoning people?
Maybe.
Huh?
Stand by the analogy. When the judges have to start dismissing cases because lunatics have the right to be that way. Quote, because Jesus.
Because
unquote.
Jesus, yeah.
Because Jesus.
Quote, I cooked the meth because my church needed a way to stay up all night and worship Jesus, Your Honor. That's
you know what?
Religious freedom.
Judge allows it.
Kuma.
I
had to kill my husband, Your
If you
Honor.
are creative enough to tell me that you cooked meth so you could stay awake and worship Jesus longer,
it's legit.
I'm going to give it to you. Judge's rule, yes.
Okay.
Two problems, one elegant solution.
I had to kill my husband, Your Honor. He got a job as at a bank as a money changer. He was an affront to God. Next one. The Lord appeared to me and demanded I rape her, Your Honor. He says our child is the second coming of the Messiah.
Ugh.
Then
Judge does not allow that.
No, that's what I'm saying. These are the things that think that sounds a bit hokey. Think that wouldn't happen. Think again. This is a deep red state full of people who venture out of the mountains very seldomly. West Virginians aren't exactly known for their progressive stance on, well, anything. But very interesting. So I call bullshit. It's a pretty scary thought. If that kind of law were to be made the law of the land, people like Charles Manson would walk out of prison tomorrow, as their followers would declare their cult of religion and file the proper paperwork. Stonings would be reinstated. You'd be able to once again sell your daughter into slavery, should you be so inclined, and anyone would be fair game for the next round of Salem witch trials. Religious freedom just ain't like it used to be. Bullshit. Kuma.
Oh, that's legit. That's a winner.
My bullshit seems really shallow now.
Mine is going to be more shallow than yours. I'm almost going to guarantee mine is going to be more shallow than yours.
I was going to call bullshit that I have to wait like 2 years to see Hamilton.
That's okay.
Or longer. Oh, but Hamilton is coming.
It is coming here. 2017, 2018 season.
And it's coming to LA too. So Harrison, keep your computer fired up. If you see Hamilton tickets, buy them. I'll pay you back. We're going.
I'm concerned potentially only available to season ticket subscribers.
Maybe.
So the thing is to buy the season
tickets now so that you can renew next year and get the Hamilton
just that year.
First.
All you got to do is be that year. They don't go on earlier than season tickets. If you agree to the season tickets, you get all the benefits right away without the smell of Greek yogurt.
You have to pay for the add-on shows.
It won't be an add-on show. Hamilton will not be an add-on show. That'll be a highlight of this. That'll be a lure to get you to buy season tickets.
It's a really good lure.
Add-ons
if you haven't listened to it, it's a compelling
story,
just audio. Like, just go get the soundtrack and just listen to it.
And historically pretty accurate.
Historically good. Yeah. No,
you made an interesting comment in regards to that soundtrack that you had said that you would listen to it. And because to my surprise, Buddy Early has no interest,
zero interest
to get it. But the comment that you made that I thought was so interesting was you said once you get into the pace of the speaking,
right?
Because it's rapped.
It is
basically.
It's Lin-Manuel something. He did Into the Heights.
Into the Heights, and he did the Spanish language lyrics for
West Side Story. He's got that Spanish hip hop kind of a lilt to him.
Got it.
So everything is
that's one of Aaron's favorites.
Everything has kind of that cadence that. dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? It just has that cadence, and so you kind of have to.
I didn't realize that.
Like that first number is kind of an adjustment. Like I was doing yard work and needed something, and I'm like, well, you know what? Hamilton's on the Grammys tonight. I haven't listened to it. I've tried to in pieces, and couldn't. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be otherwise occupied. I'm going to throw the headphones on and rake the leaves or whatever the fuck I was doing and listen to it. And I listened to it beginning to end, and it seems to be virtually the whole show. Like if you find the soundtrack,
pardon me.
It seems to be the whole show, and it was enough of the show to be compelled and interested. Mm-hmm. And I did, and I said that to Buddy earlier because Buddy earlier was like, "Yeah, I have zero interest," right. And I don't know that like dipping your toe is enough. I think you have to go all in and then either love it or hate it, like you will.
Yeah.
I thought it was a compelling story. I thought it was like the sad parts were sad enough. You know what I mean? Like I was into it.
And this show has been a hot ticket since it was off Broadway.
Hot
when
ticket.
It was off Broadway, my friend Gina, who hates everything, was like, all right, I need like 50 words as to why I need to go see this off Broadway because this thing is like taken off. And it was one of those shows that quickly went to Broadway, and it sold out. Like I was thinking about going to New York for my birthday, and I tried in December to get tickets for May, and it was a no-go for New York. Yeah.
Till like 2014 or 2018.
And one of the resale places had tickets, and a guy that lives here that I don't know very well, but he and Matt are friends. They got tickets, and Matt didn't realize how this brokerage place worked. So they bought 2 tickets, which left me to have to buy 1, and I couldn't buy, if they would have just bought 3 at the broker price, we could have all gone together, and it was a reasonable price, but they just bought 2 of them, and that 1 ticket didn't end up on sale. They just moved it with the other 3 on the other side and made it like 4. Mm-hmm. So Matt kind of unknowingly, like the guy didn't know that I would want to go because we don't know each other very well, but I was like, I would have happily come in for that. Anything. But so I'm excited. So Harrison, keep your eyes open for Hamilton in LA, because I think it goes to LA first. I think the West Coast tour is going to start in LA, but I'm not sure either.
And then come this direction.
Yeah, and usually they'll get a big name for LA in like the first couple cities because you're not in New York on Broadway, but you're in LA, and like the industry people see you, so there's people that want to do the LA thing because they want to be in movies. Like they'll do a stage play because they want the movie people to see them. So the LA cast usually has a lot of that's usually a good place to see people that have talents you don't know about. Like they're aiming for a sitcom when they can do like 19,000 other things. There's all those people that ended Sara Ramirez that ended up on she's the lesbian on
fucking lesbians.
Where the girl dies every week.
Dykes.
Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
The one who dies.
Oh, the blonde.
No, dark hair.
Oh, Callie. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's her, but she's from Spamalot. You know what I mean? Like she's this big star that can sing and dance, and she's funny.
She can do all these things, and
she's on there playing a boring lesbian
because she never has to work again.
Right? Because that'll pay her way for the rest of her life. Bullshit.
My bullshit was that I just call bullshit because it's astounding how on all of the redneck people that in this country who call all these conspiracy theories out of the blue, and they make up stories that are just crazy. The one I was reading earlier was the fact that apparently the latest is that Scalia and Obama had a private meeting on an Air Force plane in the air hours before Scalia died.
Oh.
And I'm like,
so therefore he killed him.
He left Rancho Mirage, California. I'm sure he left from wherever the hell he's doing out in Rancho Mirage to go to Texas to have a fucking meeting with this guy who was on a holiday with no security at a. The conspiracy theories crack.
And Alex Jones is doing. He's convinced that it'll be. He has a list of people that'll be next, but he says that Donald Trump will be murdered next by Obama.
Oh, I did hear that.
It'll be Donald Trump, and then it'll be Rand Paul.
Rand Paul, right?
And you're like, is that just for fun? Is that when like some of them have some strategic thing, and then there's Rand Paul because I just have a taste for killing now, and I want to go like whole hog. You want a wig wearing ophthalmologist who couldn't place 19th in a field of 19 in the clown car. Where's murdering that gonna get you?
Right.
The guy who wants to go to war less than you do.
Right.
Where is it just for? Seriously, is it just to see what the knife does?
Funny.
I have a new Posturepedic pillow, and I want to kill somebody with it to see if it doesn't hurt my arms.
It smothers you.
That's from Weeds.
All right. Well, that's our bullshit segment. Now we're going to go into this one before we end the show.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow. Which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
What was that? What was that you did? What did you just do? What the hell was that, Alfie?
I got busted looking at nothing.
So she went completely autistic looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was just staring up there like she was reading headlines from a ticker tape. Yeah. And I'm like, nothing up there, sweetheart.
Okay.
It's good you got that window covered.
Don't let the bug up there scare you.
And you're the... Oh, no, you are drinking beer. I was like, well, Al's the only one drinking tonight. But no, I forgot. You had a couple of those. I haven't had anything.
Cheers, friend. All right, so I'm going to steal your segment a little bit. Please. I've had this kind of like in the back of my brain for a little while.
Okay.
And kept meaning to send it
to
suggest and then just didn't. So I had... I went and had coffee with a friend of mine some time ago. And, you sit there and you chat and whatever, and you bitch about your day and you go your separate ways. And then a couple of days later, she said to me, gosh, I don't know if I've ever like not noticed before or if it was just like extreme that day, but my God, you curse a lot. Seriously, and I was like,
what the fuck?
Fuck you.
Well, and I was kind of shocked because she's not someone who is like opposed to that. You know what I mean? Like she's certainly cursed and we, F-bombs and we go drinking together and like all these kinds of things. And so I was really kind of taken aback by it. And so then I started thinking, I'm like, well, A, do you think you curse more than average, less than average, or about average? And 2, like, do you think you're unknowingly offending people around you by doing so? Because, I mean, we've all worked in the bars for a long time, so it's kind of hard to, it's like a skewed...
Oh, yeah.
A skewed perspective.
I'm going to go yes and yes.
Only at the chili cook-off in 2004.
So I was seriously curious because I know we all go into different situations and different, scenarios. Like we go to work and you're probably not... fuck this, fuck that in front of customers at the restaurant.
Yeah.
But with coworkers, there is that definite urge to vent frustrations with the human body, the limits of the human body, the limits of medicine. Like there is the people that are like in the system for the wrong reasons. So there is a little bit of fuck this, fuck that amongst ourselves, and it's very hard to turn that off when like a management comes around, and it's hard. And then you get to the family members and you have to like paint it a little differently, and not offer speculation and other things that you want to, like, you know what I mean, like you need to paint that as like as dire as it is. And there's a you kind of want to go make it a little happier and you can't. But
hey Missy, look up their Pantages, $500 each. August.
Oh, okay.
Do you want her to get them? Oof.
Private message him a little bit later.
I'm just saying, I think that's what she was looking for. I'm not sure. I just
I'll look. I didn't realize it was coming in August. So that really does happen. But I know that with coworkers, and I've oriented new people where I work and been like, the language here is aggressive. I hope you're okay with that. On the unit that I work, on a different unit, there's no swearing, and they're like so offended by us. Like they come over and work with us.
Oh,
and they're
wow.
like, oh, the language over here is atrocious. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
what the fuck?
But it and it really turns so it really is situational, and knowing you have to know your audience. And I feel like in an argument, if you are in an intellectual argument and you go to swear words, you kind of lose automatically.
I agree.
Oh, sure.
Like there is a.
That's how I troll the internet. As soon as I get you to call me names, I want.
You did and you absolutely did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Martin, are you out there offending all your friends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, and I honestly don't mean to. And especially if I become comfortable when I go to work, or I've talked about it before, I can go to my grandparents, and I can sit at my Not anymore because they've died. But when I did,
It'd be weird
right?
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
well,
That'd be
now
weird.
it'd
The
be
new
real.
homeowners would be like,
But swearing at a
"Why?"
grave is fun too.
Absolutely, but no one's yelling back. But when I would go over to their house, I could sit there for hours. I could be there for family gatherings, for Christmas, for whatever, and it would be not a problem. I'd walk away from someone and be like, "Fuck you," but never that it had to. The minute I pulled in the driveway to get to their house, I was fucking swearing up one side and down the other, and then I would go in, nothing. And then I would come out, and I don't even think that the door closed, and I wasn't even thinking about it. Right? It wasn't like, oh my god, I haven't sworn for so long, or I haven't said a swear word for so long. But I would come out the front door. Door wouldn't even be closed. I might, I don't know, trip on something, or a blast of cold would hit me, and I'd think, fuck you.
My family
And
doesn't enjoy the
F
F-bomb.
It's weird.
Like I don't use the C word in my
Get
real life.
Get another family.
Yeah.
No, I don't say cunt in real
We're
life
fine
because
with
I don't really like that word, and I don't.
I
and
say
my
it too
family
much.
doesn't say fuck, and that's my favorite word.
Yeah.
But I was watching Bette Midler in the basement while they weren't, so like I learned an appreciation for the F-bomb. So it is strange how
Strategically
you.
placed.
So even
word.
I like try to stay away from fuck when I'm around my family because that's not a word that they throw a word.
As long as, depending.
But you
you're
know-
right.
but you know your
your
crowd.
audience.
Yeah,
you
your
know
audience.
who's there. You know
Yeah.
who's there. I was talking.
Clayton, do you find
oddly,
yourself unknowingly offending?
I said
the
yes and
masses?
yes. I
Yeah.
swear
Oh, yes,
way.
and yes, you were
I
done.
say I do swear way too much, and I know that I've offended. I offend people when I do. Now, I'm like Marn. I remember when I would go to. Well, we all did when we were little. Like, it was an automatic switch. You'd swear when you were with your friends, but when you
sure.
go home,
Thinking you were
didn't.
getting away with
It was just an
something.
automatic on-off in your brain.
I'm
that
just
you
teaching
know-
my kid that. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
know your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
can
say
say-
whatever you want in front of me. That's fine.
Right.
Not in front of your mother.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
They'll
know
do
your
it.
audience.
Right.
Yeah, it's an important lesson, and people just swear in different ways. Like I never really knew about like Methodist swearing. I learned about that a little bit later in
Ooh,
life.
do explain.
Well, because taking like the Lord's name in vain is very serious. So
Don't
like,
say God damn it.
so
GD,
God damn it,
right.
yeah.
Or Jesus Christ.
And I remember
or-
being
yeah.
in like the 8th or 9th grade and going to a party and saying God damn it, and my mom said God damn it all the time, and just getting hauled off and slapped across the face. The only time someone's ever slapped me across the face, and this girl hit me like really fucking hard because I said God damn it.
And then you're like, Jesus Christ!
And it was
She hit you again from the other side.
it was like an abusive relationship slap, and I'm like, what the fuck? And and because my mom was, shitting goddamn to her. She was on the AMC basic cable rules of swearing. Shit and goddamn are fine, and
Whatever,
asshole
yeah,
once or
yeah.
twice in an hour. Like that was her realm.
Sure.
So I didn't think goddamn it was bad. I didn't understand what the whole taking the Lord's name in vain. I didn't even get what that meant.
Oh, when I was-
but let
when
me
I
tell
was
you,
young, my mom
when a
would be
girl
like,
2
"Don't."
years older than me hauled
Yeah.
off and like
she was raised
TV
Methodist.
soap opera slapped me, I was like, what? At a party where everybody was underage drinking, and I'm like, how did the line get crossed here? There's people getting finger banged back in the
Yeah.
corner,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but they weren't swearing about it.
right,
Oh
exactly.
my God damn, that feels good.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's fine, But my mom was raised Methodist, and she's the same. Like when I was younger, she doesn't do it as, I'm going to say honestly, as much anymore. But if I say, God damn it, now my mother swears like a sailor.
Yeah, but she just avoids
But
that
not
one word.
that or Jesus Christ, and she would, as I was growing up, be like, can you bet something different? Can you not do that? And so.
But it's what you
You
learn
tried,
from being
yeah.
around
Sure.
people. Like I was much freer
Yeah.
with the R word and never liked cunt. Like I've never liked that word.
And it's funny how freely it has become in your vocabulary.
But she
within
gave me
this show.
permission. It's not a word, and it's not a word I say anywhere else. Like outside of the show,
No, I don't think
ever-
I do either.
I don't like
unless
that word.
it's in
Oh, God,
reference
I
to
do.
the show. I don't really think I use
Like
it
I
either.
don't even in.
I'm like, what a fucking cunt.
I don't even. I very rarely even call
I don't
someone
say
that.
that.
Like that. There's
I
like two
speak
people that I know.
Kiswahili.
I think they're
All
cunts,
right.
so it stays that way.
Makes me feel better.
But to me, I thought that word was worse than retard until I started on this show, and I was like, well, I guess I was wrong on that score.
Yes.
Well, and I think everything.
Yeah, and everybody has their own sense. I'm not
Right.
sensitive to it. It's just a word that I just feel uncomfortable saying. Like,
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
but it is weird when I run into someone who swears enough more than me for me to notice it. That I'm
Right.
like,
I would
Whoa.
agree with that.
Damn,
And I
Gina.
agree with that. I agree with that because if you're friend with someone who.
Right, and that might be what happened.
Yeah.
I'm just out swearing her that
Right.
day.
And sometimes have you ever caught yourself where you're sitting there and you're like, oh God,
I just said fuck 11 times in 12 different forms of speech.
I will find myself.
I've done it, and because of my job and being in different bars and restaurants all the time, and because we've all worked in them so much, it's an automatic, well, I'm in the bar, it doesn't matter. And I forget what capacity I'm in the bar doing. Like, I'm working for them for a computer system. I'm not a patron, and I'm not just drinking with buddies. Right. I'm here on business, and I have caught myself like, oh, I have to make sure I don't do it, or I've said it. I'm like
4 times, not 14.
Or I say it.
But this
I'm
is
like,
a nice outlet too, where I don't need to swear as much the other 6 days of the week because I get it all out.
Yes, absolutely, it's
we
good
get it all
on Tuesdays.
And the funny thing was the clip that you posted about Natalie Cole, and the word that I really don't like is bitch. I don't like when gays use bitch for everything, and in that thing I say it
100 times,
about 150 times, and I'm like, oh, that's just laziness.
Let's talk about this bitch.
Yeah. Love you like crazy.
That was a really good impersonation. I like it.
Fucking funny.
I like it.
Amina's cat has no hair.
Yeah.
Well, the cat's not there. The cat's not there. I don't know if you saw that. Amina said that.
He was on a TV interview.
Yeah, on a TV interview.
I saw that imaginary bullshit.
Yeah.
No, that cat is shivering and hiding.
Hannibal. Is this in Hannibal?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannibal is behind the toilet just sloughing hair off. That's going to be one bald pussy in a minute.
And I just have to wish you all a very happy 25th anniversary of the release of The Silence of the Lambs. It was Valentine's Day,
that's right.
1991, when we all learned about the lambs stop screaming.
Had the lamb stopped screaming, Clary?
You will tell me.
That's so funny. I almost referenced that earlier, too.
Did you?
What were we talking about? And I was going to be like, was it a great big fat girl?
Big old fat girl. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Was she a great big fat girl?
Oh, and just a quick, we'll just wrap up with this.
There it is.
AMC, if you don't have the cable, AMC.com or AMC... No, TCM, Turner Classic Movies. You can go to their website and you can watch all of their 30 Days of Oscar without having to tape them on TV.
Oh,
yeah, the TCM app is legit.
It's legit, and they're doing all of the movies from the 31 Days of Oscar. I have to recommend from this week Anti-Mame, which I have not seen in years, and it's one of the funniest books.
Is that Rosalind Russell?
Rosalind Russell.
Got it.
One of the funniest books that's ever been written, and one of the few books that I seriously would have to put down and just laugh for about 10 minutes at the lines. Well, the movie with Rosalind Russell is just laugh out loud funny, and I had to use that pause button so many times to just be like, I'm going to need to use that in a sentence. That's fantastic.
There are a lot of good lines in that movie.
And Tootsie was on, and one of the best comedies, best written, best acted, best directed. Just one of the great movies of my lifetime was Tootsie, and I have to tell you, it holds up. I watched it last night. It holds up beautifully.
Can you pull back a little on that shot? How do you feel about
I'd like to make her a little more attractive. How do you feel about Cleveland? But I mean, and when we talk about all the different things in that movie, Terry Garr's so funny. But in the beginning, in the opening party scene, he plays "That's All" on the piano to hit on a woman, and it fails. And he does all these things to hit on a woman, and then when it's time to be as Tootsie in the country with Charles Durning and Jessica Lange, and he's trying to woo Jessica Lange, everything only works on Charles Durning, and it's just beautiful. And all of a sudden, like he hates the baby in the party scene where he's a guy trying to hit on a woman, but when he has to hold her baby, when they leave the baby with him, and all of a sudden he like plays with the baby, and like watching her with the baby makes her sexy. Like everything just comes back around from the male or female perspective.
I haven't
it's
seen that for
just
a long time.
beautifully
I can't even tell you how long it's been since I've seen that movie.
And laugh out loud fucking funny. Like from beginning to end, you're just, I begged you to get therapy. Like you just you just can't stop laughing. So Turner Classic Movies, I've been, my DVR is panting now from exhaustion.
Right. I can believe it. That's funny. I love it.
And just email me if you have questions about what you should watch. But some say haven't played it yet. I've been checking every day, I think, but they have not played The Lion in the Winter yet, which is my favorite thing that was ever
The Lion in the Winter.
But that's another one that you just want to pause and write it down and be like, I'm gonna
oh my God! Speaking totally off topic, but yet similar. Lahoot told me something about Steel Magnolias I had never heard of, and if you've told me this, I don't know how I forgot it.
Give it up.
They're all women.
Allegedly.
That is a very old screenplay, and it was written, and originally it was supposed to be Betty Davis, Liz Taylor.
No, it's a true. No, that's not a lie. No,
because she watched it on whatever
It was on Turner Classic Movies.
She watched, and apparently in between the segments or something, they break in and they do little facts or they show facts.
Right, but the Steel Magnolias.
That's not real?
Steel Magnolias is a true story about the guy that wrote it, and he wrote Soap Dish. His name's Robert Harling. He wrote it about his sister, and it's about his mother and his sister. And it's a true story.
Okay, but the casting, was it ever supposed to be?
No, the play was on Broadway in the 80s. It's how, what's-her-face that was married to Liam Neeson.
So where did that come from?
We have this, she and I have the same birthday, and she's dead.
Redgrave.
Redgrave.
Not Vanessa.
Not Vanessa Redgrave. Lynn. No, that's the sister.
That's the other one.
The daughter is Richardson. Natasha Richardson.
Good call.
That's how she became famous.
Holy fuck.
I'm like
I need that pointing dog again to get me back to this.
Yeah, Natasha Richardson played that. That's a Broadway play based on a true story, and Robert Harling is still alive, and he wrote Soap Dish and a couple other funny movies, but that's about his sister. And sometimes they say it's about his sister's sorority sister, but his sister is dead, and it is about her and the town that they grew up in. And Aaron has said a couple times that his
I remember him.
That his family is from the neighborhood where they filmed, because there is no Chickapin Parish.
Right.
There's some to it. It says mentalfloss.com, which I feel like is a pretty legit resource. Says that Bette Davis wanted a piece of Steel Magnolias. She saw the play in New York and immediately began to push to be cast in the film.
Oh, it's Weezer.
I could see
It's hard. I forgot, but she would be dead before the movie came out. She died in '88.
She also thought that Katharine Hepburn would make a fantastic Clary and Elizabeth Taylor would be a perfect Truvy.
Okay, that's where that comes from.
Right.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Who would be a perfect Clary?
Liz Taylor.
Okay.
No, Katharine Hepburn.
Katharine Hepburn would be a good Clary.
Okay. Yep.
Olivia Dukakis. And Liz Taylor would be a perfect Truvy.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, okay. So that would work. But
Yeah.
Bette Davis died before that movie ever came out.
But how different and interesting that movie would be with those different actresses playing it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very different. Wow.
That would be funny.
Oh, all right, let's wrap
That's
this
hard to
pig up.
believe with as frail as... Well, she was in the Whales of August that year. She did the Whales of August, Bette Davis, that year or the year before. Because Bette Davis died in '88, right?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Sounds right. 88 or
But
89.
she had multiple strokes. She was barely alive.
Yes, I remember.
Kind of like Gabor.
Wow, it's a good show. We're all back. I hope next week we're even more healthy than this week, because I am tired of this coughing thing. I just need to remember to take Benadryl. Benadryl. Send me some Benadryl, for God's sake. Send it to me.
Nachitoches, that's how you pronounce it. Nachitoches is where they actually filmed that movie.
I do hope we all make it back next week. And I don't know, is it a special Tuesday? We'll find out. I don't know. Is it
Super Tuesday?
We'll figure it out. I'm not sure.
No, but there'll be I think one caucus and one primary will happen before then.
As we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday!
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.